Hello, Blue Fleet. How are we doing? How are we doing? I have a little groove to the music there. Please forgive me. I've got a little bit of a cold, I think, so my voice ain't quite up to scratch. I'll try to moderate myself a little bit tonight just so that we can get through to the end of this case, because then that's the mainline bit of Dual Destinies done. The only thing we then have to do is the DLC, and then after that we should finish that just in time for the Edgeworth Trilogy to come out. So, yeah, neat. You've got some cough syrup for me. Oh, fantastic. Wait. Don't use it. Ah, no, that's not cough syrup at all. Ah, you coat my throat with the syrup of lies. Oh, that's not cough syrup at all. Oh, no. How could you do this to me? Wait, quite easily. Understood. Anyway, there's a bit of a change to the schedule next week because I've got a birthday to go to on Friday next week. And then also, the week after that, I'm at Vexpo. So I'm probably going to slide Ace Attorney to the Thursday slot before Vexpo. Just to make sure we get it in. So I really want to be finished up with Dual Destinies before the Edgeworth Duology comes out. And then what we'll do is we'll play the Edgeworth game. And then we'll come back to finish this off sort of like later in the year / early part of next year. Something like that. Anyhow, we're at the last part of DD. We might start on the DLC tonight, depending how we go for time. We might just bookend it off. I don't think we'll start on the DLC tonight, but we'll see like how we go. He's starting a D&D campaign after the stream, so it'll be a bit time crunched on Fridays. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so next week it will be Saturday that I stream this, and then after the Saturday it'll be a Thursday. The Thursday is the day before I go to the con as well, so it's probably going to be like a little bit earlier just so I can make sure that I'm ready, because I've got to go quite early in the morning on the Friday. I need to go to the hotel and make sure I can book in early, actually. But yeah, we're cross-examining... Oh, that's right, Apollo turned out to be a fucking traitor, didn't he, that little son of a bitch? Alright. Alright, well... Let's see what this motherfucker's doing. It's December the 20th, District Court, courtroom number 4. Well, well, well. Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled. I'm not talking about the past here. I'm talking about the present case. I'm still not clear who killed Clay Tarrant. But Apollo, why would you... Miss Sykes, please listen quietly to what I have to say. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time. His explanation redeems him. It fucking better. Because otherwise I'm going to have to slap this boy. I'm going to have to slap his little cheeks so hard. But this is a trial for the case from 7 years ago. Miss Blackquill, I'd like to ask a favour of you. Just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me too. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do. Apollo. Hehe. Sure, you know I'm all for the truth. Now, let's see you expose the princess's guilt. Judge, I give my permission. Continue with the trial. Very well. Is that all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police's investigation report brought immediately. Not you too, Edgeworth. I really hope it's because you have something up your sleeve. Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh yeah, if you can hear the fan noise, I've actually got another fan on order at the minute, so hopefully that's going to come over the next couple of days, and it should be quite a lot quieter. So yeah, let's hope. As you wish. Let's review the case of the murder of Mr. Clay Tarrant. It was made clear in the previous trial that Solomon Starlock was not his killer. Therefore, the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in boarding lounge 1. When the two men made their escape out of the Space Museum, The killer attacked Mr. Terran with the same type of knife that was used 7 years ago. The murderer then escaped into the Space Museum. Next, Director Yuri Cosmos switched the launch pads. After that, the culprit exited the Space Museum and escaped via Boarding Lounge 2. Therefore, this trial must make clear who Mr. Terran's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped through the Space Museum that day. Thank you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, is the defense ready? Yes, Your Honor. I'd better rearrange my evidence. Okay. Let's have a look at the court record really quickly. So we've got the badge, the diagram, the knife, the pamphlet, Hope Capsule, Hat 1 exhibit, the Moonrock earring, the Phantom psychological profile, Terran's autopsy report. This will be updated very soon, I have no doubt. The security camera video, Launchpad 1 door lock, Aura's statement, the lighter, the emergency ladder, and then the phony Fanty. Why the fuck has the phony Fanty come back? Oh my god. Edgeworth King is updating the autopsy report. Baby. Dun, 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 dun. Now then, Mr. Justice, your testimony, if you please. Okay. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Terran. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. Why is this music playing? Oh, Apollo, why? In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launchpad switch to escape. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder. I don't care for this. I don't care for this, chat. No, 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 no. No, 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 I don't care for this one bit. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Justice, you realize you are charging your own co-worker with murder, don't you? Yes, Your Honor. Because that is the conclusion my investigation has led me to. But Apollo, why? How could you suspect me too? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. I don't get it. Just what did you find out over the past few days to make you think this? I'll remark he never said it's what he believes in. But at the same time, what a lawyer believes in and what the evidence tells them. There can be a disconnect, I suppose. There can be a disconnect. I mean, we have to, at times like this, right? At times when it's toughest, that's when we have to wear our biggest smiles, right? And we can't cry until it's all over. Okay.
Hold it!
Hold it! What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? It all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene. When she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Terran, my bracelet reacted. She said she'd never seen the knife before, but my bracelet told me otherwise. And then, every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. Poor Apollo must have been beside himself during that investigation. I didn't know what to do or think. I couldn't even sleep. In that condition, I knew I wouldn't be any good in court. So I decided to wear an eye patch, so I wouldn't be able to perceive any of her tells. So that's why Apollo was acting so strangely. But the reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to the knife that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with one identical to it 7 years ago.
Objection!
Don't you object to me, you little shit. But that knife was also the murder weapon that was used to kill Clay Terran. Taking Goddo's words to heart, you know what? They are very good advice for working in law. Like, I actually use that advice day to day. I literally use that advice day to day, and it's how I get through my working day. That coffee drinking son of a fuck. Thinking which, I've got a bit of the coffee left. Darker than the deepest night, and more bitter than the hatred in my soul. And also very cold at this point. My bracelet could have also reacted because she was the killer too. Oh, she knew she was his killer too. Ugh. I guess he has a point. But my bracelet wasn't the only reason I became suspicious of her. Okay. what else was. Oh, 1 second. I just need to put something. I just realised I haven't. No, yes, I did. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And yep. Oh, good. Sorry, I thought I'd forgotten to put something on. But no, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Hold it!
Hold it! That's the license that was found in the Space Museum with the fingerprints on it, right? But if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about yet. If that's so, go ahead and prove it then. Look, honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either, but Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. But, Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes had absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Terra.
Objection!
7 years ago, Miss Sykes lived at the Cosmos Space Center. It wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to him. Besides, people sometimes kill for motives we can't even imagine. I know you've seen plenty of cases like that in your own career, Mr. Wright. I still can't believe this. How can you actually suspect Athena, Apollo? How can he suspect Athena, right? How can he? So, the way that Wright works out cases is what's called abductive reasoning. So you take away possibilities until you reach the one which you can't take away, and that is the truth, right? So, would it not stand to reason that Apollo is trying to remove each element of suspicion until there is no suspicion left to be had? And he's basically having us deconstruct his own arguments to show them that he is wrong. Is that what he's doing? We'll see. Okay. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launchpad switch to escape. Is that the case? Is this the switch? I don't think it is.
Hold it!
Hold it! Isn't it possible that somebody else used that same escape route? I'm afraid not, Mr. Wright. Why not? Recall there's a security camera in boarding lounge 1 aimed at the launchpad door. It's the camera that captured Mr. Terran and Mr. Starbuck. Hey Hades, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. But there's also another security camera in boarding lounge 2. It recorded Mr. Terran's killer, or rather, Miss Sykes coming out of the Space Museum. A camera in boarding lounge 2? First I've heard of it, but it makes sense. Athena said she'd snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident, and then was overcome and passed out until around noon the next day. I was out until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into boarding lounge 2. Yeah, she just wandered out through a murder scene. That was when the camera captured her, and that's what made Apollo suspect her even more. But wait a minute. In that case, it most likely recorded the true culprit as well.
Objection!
That's a negative on that one too, Mr. Wright. Time for the end of DD? Yeah. Well, barring the DLC case anyway. In the footage taken after the incident, Miss Sykes is the only one who appears. What? Why? How this can be? Order! Order in the court! He looks like Kristoff with some of these poses. He really does, doesn't he? That can't be. But if it is, it's incredibly incriminating. Wasn't it you who proved in the previous trial that the way the true culprit escaped was via the Space Museum after the pads had been switched? Sniffy sniffy. A fact you previously proved turned on its ear, leaving your client high and dry. I must say, that is vintage Phoenix Fright. Okay, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. The way that he's looking at Phoenix as well is like, oh, we're going to tell stories about this one over wine and cheese for many moonlight nights, and then have lots of raucous sex afterwards. Ooh, yeah, that's the noise he'll be making as well. Okay.
Hold it!
Hold it! Ow! Look, you know I'm right, Hades. Believing in your client to the end is a basic principle of good defense. Shouldn't you extend that same principle to your own co-worker? You're probably right. Maybe I'm not even fit to be a lawyer. However, I don't care. This case is special to me. Clay was my friend. And that's why I just have to know the truth. Apollo suspected his trusted co-worker of killing his friend. To dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own, but that only led to more doubts. Apollo must have been really struggling with this. Well, Apollo may have doubts, but not me. I'll say it again. Athena Sykes isn't the murderer. Then I have only one thing to say. Evidence is everything in court. Well, Mr. Wright, think you have the concrete proof to knock down my arguments? Phoenix is too dense to have doubts. Yeah, he's still recovering from the brain damage that Pearls caused him with that one slap. Like, he's never been quite the same afterwards. He's always got this, like, 1,000-yard stare in his eyes, and, you know, he kind of drools when he eats as well. It's a real mess. It's Apollo the prosecutor. No, Apollo is the witness. So Apollo has indicted Athena, and at the minute, Edgeworth is prosecuting. Hopefully our beloved Quilly will come back very shortly and silence us. And Pearls with the slaps, Wellington with the fire extinguisher, Palmeractus with the car. Yeah, I mean, what's next? Like in the next game, is like Phoenix gonna have I don't know, like a cricket bat thrown at his head or something. Your arguments have been very clear, Mr. Justice, and your facts appear to be indisputable. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think of my theory? It looks like not even you can deny it. Miss Sykes was the only one who used the only possible escape route. Under these circumstances, there can be no other suspect but the defendant. Unless you think there was an alternative escape route. Yeah, is that what you think, Mr. Wright? I mean, the only other thing I can think of, right? There's two possible escape routes, right? One is the trash chute. There's the trash chute. You're tired today, something fierce. Well, have enough. Send fires and missiles! Oh, God. Ancient memes. Ancient memes. So, alternative escape routes. There's the trash chute, or there's the emergency ladder. Low to the ground from the window of the 4th floor robotics lab. This wouldn't lead... Oh, God. Ah! Thank you. Thank you, chat. You're very kind to an old man. Oh, God. I think it's because we've got a heat wave coming in and the pollen count has jumped up, but thank you. Not as old as Knees Duts. Got him. Oh, my God. Chat, karma treating this person. Post haste. Punish them brutally with alcohol. In the name of the depressed turbo lesbian bartender. Yes. Oh, thinking of which, have you seen that there's a giant Jill figurine coming soon? I want to buy it. Okay. Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? Is that what you think, Phoenix? Was there an alternative escape route? I think there was. Excuse me just one moment. Okay. No? Oh, okay. Of course. Yes, of course there must have been. Just don't ask me what. You're just bluffing again, aren't you? Lesbians and giant Jills? Am I trying to tell you something? So Jill Stingray from Valhalla has a pop-up parade Max figure coming. So I've got a pop-up parade of Urza Scarlet on my desk. Hold on, let me just see if I can... my desk is a mess right now, right? So I'm just going to try and tidy it up a bit so I can show you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, she does. Yeah. You know those pop-up parade XL? It's one of those. Right, let me just put that up there a sec. Okay. Pull that down. Oops, that should be about alright, I think. Right, just give me a moment. Right. So we want to go here. And then... Oh. Okay, there we go. Oh, banana! Yeah, so here's my Erza figure, right? Just gonna be a little bit delicate. Grab by the base. That'll do. Yeah, there you go. There's the figurine I have on my desk. It's Erza in the clear heart clothing from Fairy Tail, right? Now you see about roughly this sort of size, right? The Jill figurine is going to be about twice as high, so probably standing up to about like here. So if you lay her down flat on the side, just being careful with the swords, of course, then like there to probably to about like there is the size that the Jill's going to be. The figure's quite good. Pop-up parades are surprisingly high quality. They're surprisingly high quality considering, like, this figurine cost me something like 40 quid. Might grab one. Yeah. Absolutely. It's fine, Mr. Wright. Even a bluff would suit me just fine. As long as you can... It looks quite sturdy looking without it looking rough either. Yeah, the pop-up parades are really good. Like, the pop-up parade figurines, I've got 3 of them at the minute. I've got Urza Scarlet, and then I've got Vanilla and Chocola from Nekopara. Don't ask me how I persuaded my wife to allow me to buy Nekopara figurines, but yeah. They're really, really good quality, and they don't cost very much either. Like, a pop-up parade will run you between 35 to 50 quid, depending on who it is and how new it is. But you can normally pre-order them for like a £5 and then pay sort of 40 quid later. And yeah, I mean, they're really cool figurines. You know, I like them a whole lot. Clear up this doubt inside of me. Wait, so is that what this is all about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt, so that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. So that you can really trust me. It seems your junior partner has just showed us what trials are truly all about. I believe you're right. We prosecutors painstakingly question every detail in pursuit of the defendant, while we lawyers believe in and defend our clients to the end. When both sides go all out against each other, that's when we discover the truth. Precisely. And when the battle is over, we will understand the true meaning of trust. He wanted Phoenix to dispel every possibility so that Apollo can trust her. Nice, I see. That is exactly what trials are about, wouldn't you agree? Yes. I couldn't ignore the seed of doubt that was growing inside me. So I decided I need to face it head on. No matter what the truth is that's waiting ahead, I won't be afraid. You sure? That's so like Apollo. Always uber earnest about things like this. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your heart. Good, because I want to believe in Miss Sykes again. You're really hoping there was an alternative route, aren't you, Apollo? But if I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. Director Cosmos was at the southern exit, leaving only the control room and the corridor to the Space Museum. Which door could the culprit have escaped through? Come on, Mr. Wright. Where do you think the culprit escaped to? Okay. Let's see. So, where did the culprit escape to? Cosmos always lies and does things shoddily. Hey, G-Men, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. That's your immediate doubt in any evidence? See, I still feel like... See, the control room, only Cosmos can go through there. We know that Cosmos is the only person who can get through there, right? Now, the biometric door lock has 3 people who can go through it. It has backup power. It can be opened from the other side, right? Starbucks prints have been on it, but, you know, it's I don't think Starbuck would have been... I don't think he could have... I mean, he could have, I guess, escaped through there. But my gut feeling is still telling me that he's escaped down through the trash chute. That's what my gut's telling me, right? That he's escaped through the trash chute. It's the Space Museum, not the Hat One Launchpad. Yeah, but the thing is, it's the Space Museum corridor, but at the same time it's Boarding Lounge 1. So, is the chute big enough? As far as I know. It's the Space Museum, not the Hat One Launchpad, but the door locks on this side are the same. It doesn't matter it's the Space Museum corridor or the Launchpad corridor. The locks in this room are still the Boarding Lounge 1 locks. So, Cosmos is still the only one who can get through there. We know who can access this set of locks, right? So, for me, the chute is the only logical answer. The chute is the only thing that is coming to mind because the only other thing that the culprit could have done is get out through, like, the escape ladder. Wasn't there the ladder's out here. The ladder's out here. That's the problem. The ladder is out here. It's the only thing I've got to go on. I just don't know, though, because it seems like the game's going to bait me into an answer that makes no sense. Let's try it. Yeah, we can always just scum our way through it, right? Oop, didn't want to do that.
Take that!
There. I doubt anybody could have escaped that way. Alright, so it's not the only answer that makes sense. Great. So is this a random bullshit go moment? Is this another random bullshit go? Alright, one thing I forgot, there's dead leaves in the corridor. But how do they get through a door they don't have fingerprint access to? That's the problem. Unless the guys have come through here and then the door's still been open when they've come through and he's shot and then run through there really quickly. But that doesn't really track with what we know. I'll try this way, but it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Because we've already been told things that kind of contradict the possibility of it. So if it is this, I'm going to kind of call bullshit on it. But what if one of the access people were the murderer? I'm pretty sure I know who the murderer is at this point. I think I've worked it out. I'm pretty sure I've worked it out. That's the reason why Athena's suspected. I guess so. Because the thing is, from this side, you don't. If she's come in through here into the boarding lounge, you don't need fingerprint access from this side, but you do from this side. So if they've been in here and escaped out down that way, logic follows they'd have to have access to the doors. If they don't have access to the doors, the trash chute is the only logical option, which is why I came to that conclusion. Maybe selecting outside the center is the solution. We'll get a nice diagram to summarize it. I'd like a nice diagram now, if it's all the same. Onegaishimasu. Let's try this one. I don't think it is, but they really only could have escaped to the corridor to the Space Museum. Oh, all right then. Yeah, sure, game. Take the one answer that makes absolutely the least sense, and we'll go with that. Sure. All they had to do was use the unconscious Mr. Starbucks Prince to get through the... Oh, come on! You've got to be shitting me. They drag an unconscious person to a scanner and use his fingerprints to open the door, whilst people bust in from the south side. I mean, come on, this is even less believable than I thought they were going for. This is even sillier. Oh, God.
Objection!
It appears that all you're trying to establish is Miss Sykes' guilt. If the culprit used that route, the only exit would have been into Boarding Lounge 2. The logical conclusion of your argument is that the killer is none other than the defendant. I knew it. That's the only way it could be, huh? If the culprit escaped into the corridor that leads to the Space Museum... This is Japanological entertainment logic. You know what? I should have remembered that. That's on me. Then I guess it's true. The only exit would have been to the Boarding Lounge 2. But Miss Sykes was the only person captured by the Boarding Lounge 2 security camera. I investigated the crime scene thoroughly. But the only place that the culprit could have escaped to was the Space Museum corridor. There weren't any other secret corridors or anything. So that leaves us with no other conclusion to draw but that Athena Sykes was the culprit. What could the answer be? Was there really no other escape route? But, hold on a second. What if... Where did those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? What if they're a clue to the culprit's real escape route? And now we get into the truly crazy... Oh, shit. I haven't even had any cocaine today. God damn it. Alright. Okay. Where's Emma with her her forensic powder? I could really use a line of that right now. I think it is possible the culprit escaped into the Space Museum. But then came out using a route other than into Boarding Lounge 2. Oh. Launchpad 1 in the Space Museum was switched after the bombing, meaning the Space Museum corridor was moving along the rail at the time. Which is exactly when an alternative escape route opened up for our culprit. Are you kidding me? Judging by the intense look in your eyes, I take it you're serious. Very well then, Mr. Wright. Do tell. Where could the culprit have gone from the museum corridor besides Boarding Lounge 2? Thinking. So the Boarding Lounge corridors suck themselves into the launch pad when it moves, and then it rotates. And you can open the corridors from inside, but not... You can open them from inside the corridor, but not inside of the boarding lounges. So, if the leaves have come in somehow from the outside, so what if the culprit has opened the doors whilst they're in motion and then waited, he's kind of like hopped out. Sorry, give me a second. What was that? Give me just a second, chat. Hold on, I just heard something then. Alright, sorry about that. I think you're going where I was going with this one, Ara. So, you can open the doors while it's moving. So they hop out. They basically, as soon as the door sucks in, they open the door, hop out, wait for this to come around, and then hop back in. So I think they would have gone, like, here. Hades was right along in a literal and metaphorically roundabout way. It tends to be like that, doesn't it? It tends to be that way. Okay. Let's try this.
Take that!
We found something odd while investigating the museum corridor this afternoon. Namely, a few dead leaves on the floor. Considering where dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit escaped to. Yeah. I remember seeing some leaves myself. Ah! Do you mean... Yep. While the Space Museum was in motion, just beyond the corridor's safety door was an alternative place that the culprit could use to escape. Oh. In other words, the culprit's real escape route was... the area outside the Space Center. You're insane!
Objection!
Don't you object to that, you little shit. Do you know how impossible that'd be? That corridor's level with the 3rd floor. Even if the culprit tried to leap to the outside wall of the Space Center building, they'd fall to their death.
Objection!
Ordinarily, yeah. But after the bombing incident, the culprit could make use of a certain item. And what item was it exactly, Mr. Wright? Alright, this is what the culprit used to leap to the outside wall of the main building. The escape ladder. It has to be the escape ladder. Right? Parachute or cushion or climb thing? You late again? Don't worry, Cyber. It's all good. It's all good. So, we are currently cross-examining Apollo. Yeah, we're cross-examining Apollo. I'm pretty sure it's this.
Take that!
An emergency ladder. There was an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab, and it was used that day after the explosions to help evacuate people. Miss Blackquill herself used that ladder to escape down to ground level. Recall that launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the pads were being switched, and that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. Well, and leapt onto the ladder. What? Who would have imagined? Order! Order in the court! Well, an alternative escape route seems to have emerged. Which means someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit, right?
Objection!
Don't you object to me, you little shit. Making things up on the fly in an attempt to sway the court again, are we, Mr. Wright? Hades was right by being wrong about chutes, ladders, and unintentionally circles. And also I like giant women have NECA power statues. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, but all these things are true. Right, what was it Edgeworth just said? Your theory has so many holes it puts Swiss cheese to shame. Alright then, name one. I have here detailed information about the Space Center. According to this, the distance between the museum corridor and the main building during movement is a full 20 feet. 20 feet? You're pulling my leg, right? In addition, the corridor is 3 floors from the ground, or roughly 50 feet. What's more, the culprit would be leaping to a precarious place. An unstable ladder. 20 foot is less than the movement of a halfling in D&D in one turn, it's okay. Can't halflings move like... They've got 25 foot movement, right? Do halflings have 25 or 30 foot movement? I think it's 25, like... I know that dwarves have 25 foot movement. We're slow. We don't move very fast. Yeah, because we got short little legs, right? Get to helping sort Hades' emotions around. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do you a solid. Ugh. Human beings feel fear in dangerous situations. It's a basic survival instinct. An ordinary person would certainly hesitate before jumping. Or even freeze in fear and not jump at all.
Objection!
That's why we can prove it's the Phantom. But the culprit had just murdered someone. They weren't in an ordinary state of mind. They had no emotions.
Objection!
You foolish fools. Nevertheless, why would they have taken that kind of risk? They could have waited for the switch to be complete and escaped to boarding lounge 2.
Objection!
Because there was a security camera in boarding lounge 2. The culprit knew they'd be recorded if they left the Space Museum that way.
Objection!
In that case, the culprit could have hidden in the museum until things settled down. And then blended in with the other people after the museum was opened. They could have taken the risk for the heck of it too. That'd be kind of fucked up. That's a good point. But you claim that despite all this, the culprit took a 20-foot death-defying leap. And all in the brief moment the corridor and ladder passed by each other. That's also a good point. They would have needed a running start while the corridor was moving to make that jump. If their timing was off or they couldn't jump far enough, it would have been instant death. What kind of person would attempt something like that? Stop bringing up good points, Edgeworth. This true culprit of yours is nothing but a figment of your imagination. Why do you always have to point out every flaw? Oh, edgy. Stop edging us. Mr. Edgeworth's right. That does sound pretty insane. The culprit would have had to be someone who just feels no fear, like a stuntman. But everyone feels fear on some level. Right? Wait a minute. Ah, I've got it this time. I can prove that there is someone who could have used this alternative escape route. Oh, can you now? This proves the possibility of a person who could have used this alternative escape route. This doesn't experience feelings like normal people do.
Take that!
Take that! What's that, Mr. Wright? This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. The subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person doesn't feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Doesn't feel fear? Right. That face. You can't be serious. Without the constraint of fear, he could easily do what an ordinary person wouldn't dare. Uh-oh. Just as you or I could do a broad jump on the ground without the slightest fear. This subject could make a 20-foot leap 50 feet up in the air. He could choose this extreme way of escaping without hesitation. So you're saying that to a person without fear, the alternative route would be quicker and eliminate the chance they'd be spotted? That's definitely pretty extreme, Mr. Wright. But was there such a person there at the scene? Yeah, the Phantom, that mysterious shadowy figure who keeps popping up. Oh dear! The Phantom again? Keep in mind the Phantom's an international spy. I mean, international spies are all well and good, but, like, have you ever wanted to have an international spy's wife just, like, kick you to death? No, anyway. No? You've never watched Spy Family? You should, it's good. I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes of the Space Center bombing. But I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Terran as well. However, now it's all clear. What do I mean by that? Go watch Spy Family. Go watch Spy Family. Right? I'm desperately upset that I'm having to justify this, but go watch Spy Family. Right? You know, if you come away from that and you don't want your forger to just, like, absolutely murder you with a kick, then there's something wrong with you. Yeah! G-Man knows. I knew someone would have my back. I knew someone in chat would have my back. Tennis won. Yeah. I mean, any fight scene that you're in is just peak. Absolutely peak. However, now it's all clear. The Phantom is the only one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also killed Mr. Terran. What? Ah! You should watch the anime, it's pretty good. Order in the court, order I say. Mr. Wright, please continue. There were just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? It can only be because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. So then this Phantom is the one who killed Clay. But who is he? Do you want to know what my theory is, chat? And I'm going to throw this one out there now. I've been cooking this for weeks. I've already told Aaron my theory. And I'm going to tell all of you guys now what I think. And I do not tell me if I'm right or wrong. I want to see if I've cooked this right, if I've busted another case ahead of time. So, we know that the Phantom is someone who wears disguises and who hides themselves as other people. We know that Simon Blackwell has been hunting this Phantom since he was put onto death row 7 years ago. Who would be the safest person for the Phantom to be hidden by? Where would you hide if you were the Phantom? The best place is in the least likely place people suspect that you will be, which is right next to the guy hunting you. So I get the feeling... No, I don't think it's the judge. I think what's happened is the Phantom is basically like an Amogus. The Phantom is an amogus. So basically, he's like an imposter. He's taken someone else's face. I think the Phantom is Bobby Fulbright. He's been acting really weird for the past 2 cases. And this would explain why, because he realizes he's goofed and he's about to get busted. That's my theory. And I don't want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong. We're going to find out, right? We're going to find this out tonight, if I've done it again. This Phantom has been haunting this case, pulling the strings in the background. Bobby's the detective. Who could this unidentified international spy be? Right, this escape route must have been a part of the Phantom's plan from the start. Wait, hang on. Fulbright was the one who ordered the ladder to be put down, wasn't he? Like, he was coordinating the escape attempts, or the escape stuff. So didn't he tell people to evacuate using the emergency ladder? So then he'd have known it was going to be going round. Hey, Mo, how are we doing? Welcome, Raiders. Welcome to Lawtown. Oh, yeah. Az was tricking Director Cosmos into switching the launch pads. The bomb on the 2nd floor was meant to make the elevators and stairs unstable. We're getting raided! You're raiding right into the point where we're about to save our badger husband. Dang it, Bobby! What if I said about blowing up in the space station and killing scientists in front of their children? I swear that boy ain't right. Peggy, fix the boy! That's why he gave advance warning and planted the bombs where he did. Yeah, I think you're right. Badger husband is already saved. There's now Athena we have saved. I don't give a shit about her. She can. Yeah. I don't give a shit. As long as I'm there with my Quilly, I'm all good. I'm a pretty good American hick. I used to watch King of the Hill. I sure as hell don't know what the heart of the cards is, but I can tell you got the heart of a Texan. What do you mean I don't give a shit about Athena? Look. She's not Blackquill. I don't care. No, I'm kidding. But it does explain this one last thing. Unsubbed on foil, you're taking the first boat to invade England? I'm joking. Quilly'd never forgive me if I let Athena go to jail, right? He'd never forgive me. We have to save her. So I loaded my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. Yes, see? But it was such a pain. Why couldn't they have used the ladders in the other rooms? The robotics lab wasn't the only room with an emergency ladder. But he couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain which one it would be. So you mean... the Phantom must be someone who knew that particular ladder was going to be used. King of the Hill gets better as an adult. It really does. That's right. King of the Hill's actually like, pretty good. Oh, I just realized I didn't give Mo a shout. Hold on. Let me... Hang on. Yeah, there we go. I need to make sure we have the numbers in as well, don't I? There we go. There we go. Get a shout out, nerd. Mwah. Who could it be? Wait a minute. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. Well. Miss Blackquill lowered the ladder after being told to by the detective leading the... Ah! He's figured it out. You've got to be kidding me. Did you figure it out right? Do you know who the Phantom is? Yeah, I do. Who is it? Who killed Clay? Our mystery spy, known as the Phantom, is none other than... this motherfucker. I fucking knew it, Ara. I knew he was acting shady. I've commented on it so many times, and now I get to nail this motherfucker. After the explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. Something else to point out to Fulbright. Why make a new cop when you have Emma and Gumshoe? Very true. As for the detective who was leading the evacuation from the 4th floor, he had a very specific objective in mind. So I lowered my emergency ladder, like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. God, I wish I was Clonco. I mean, hi. Hi guys, how you doing? His objective was to secure his own escape route. We lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. You don't concede defeat. I guessed it too late. I'll be honest, I had it figured out a little while ago. Because when we found out there was someone who we didn't know the identity of was pulling the strings, my mind basically instantly went, where is the least likely place for someone like that to hide? So I've been kind of cooking it until I had all the evidence, but yeah. I think that I've done pretty good there. I think I've done pretty good. You know, to say like I'm playing these games basically blind. I say basically because the first trilogy I'd watched the anime, so I didn't remember very much of it, but I had seen it at some point in some capacity. Whereas these games I know nothing about. There's somebody who don't know the identity of who's that character with no background. Pretty sure he's alright. I just thought he was an idiot, you know? I just thought he was just some idiot. I did think it was weird they didn't bring Emma back though, because, you know, like, she can, you know, like, step on me and stuff. Anyway. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down to and headed to the shelter. This is a detective you all know. He's even the lead detective on the current case. I won't have that luck for AI. That sounds like a challenge. He appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he's without emotion.
Take that!
Oh boy. What are you saying? Detective Bobby Fulbright? Exactly. We were all taken in by his fake persona. This is the best pursuit music in the series so far. Like, I fucking love this track. It's so baller. It's so good. Good old Detective Dominatrix's footstool Shanzu. Listen. 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 Okay. Detective Fulbright's real identity is the Phantom. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, how could this be? That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the 4th floor evacuation effort. Our first clue is that he made no attempt to have any other ladder put to use. The ladder in the robotics lab is the only one he ordered to be lowered. The second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via this ladder. Verily, it was all part of his plan to create an escape route. After Detective Fulbright saw to it that the ladder was launched from the robotics lab, he went to the lounge where he killed Clay Terran, then escaped into the Space Museum. The museum started moving slowly, so he waited for the right time, got a running start, and just as the corridor was passing the ladder, he leaped onto it. Oh, I don't believe it. That addle-pated detective did all that. Was it really him? All this time? I thought... Sorry, we didn't catch your name. My name? I'm Bobby Fulbright. The heroic detective who defends our good citizens from evil. The champion of justice who comes running whenever you're in need. And my catchphrase? It's in justice we trust. See, I flagged this almost immediately. In justice we trust. Injustice. Take away the space. Take away the space. I said this from the fucking start. I said this from the fucking start. There was something screwy about that catchphrase. There was something screwy about that catchphrase from the off, from the first point we met this guy. Then, his concern for Simon was also just one big act. I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackquill and make him a valued member of society again. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. Silence. Yes, Daddy. That monster killed Clay? He had me completely fooled. Come to think of it, he's the one who brought that bloodstained lights to court too. The scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Damn it! How the hell did I fall for all that? For him to have wormed his way into the police department as well. Ugh. Hey, how you doing, man? Welcome, welcome. Your Honour, the defence demands to question Detective Bobby Fulbright. Yes, I agree that we need to hear from him right away. The court will now take a short recess and then Detective Fulbright will take the stand. Oh, I'm going to nail this motherfucker. I'm going to nail him with every inch of my girth. Watch as I do it, chat. Watch as I do it. Okay. Defendant's lobby, number 5. We got to dismantle him like all means? Yes. Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. If it wasn't for everything you did, I... Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss. Bobby Hillbright is going to get sentenced to Detroit by the end of this. Yeah. I see. I see. It all makes sense now. Apollo! Ugh. Well, this is awkward. Athena, can you do me a favour? What is it? Could you punch me, please? What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't trust... Ow! Don't be such a dope. I was really touched by what you did. Now what are you talking about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. Don't insult Detroit by mentioning the Forsaken Land. You took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how can I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? You didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago. Thanks, Athena. And thanks for waking me up to reality again. I guess I know now who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. It looks like you have some promising young people working under you. Oh, it's her husband. Edgeworth. Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself. And they're not afraid to keep me in line. Anyway, I have some very good news. Aura Blackquill has surrendered and the hostages have been set free. Trucing all the others? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Blackquill said she had something she really needed to do. Cleveland, where the sun shines only 3 times a year. Energy from that state as a whole. The only thing I know about Cleveland is that's where Chimera come from. And by extension, there's Black Spider Studios, where I think it's Ben Schigel who runs it. He did most of their albums. He also sessioned on The Age of Hell. So, yeah, that's some, like, useless music trivia for you there. Chimera are fucking great. They're playing, like, shows again. I would love to see them do another album. But we'll see, you know. I mean, another album would be a treat, but I'm not holding my breath. You know, they kind of, like, they had their time in the spotlight. They decided to pack it in. They come back for shows every now and then. Maybe that's enough. I should see the Cleveland Tourism parody video. Uh-oh. There's an indie platform called Chimera, but it's got nothing to do with the band. I've never heard of that platform, to be honest. So I granted her special permission to do what she must. I wonder what it is. Miss Blackquill. I didn't come to apologise, if that's what you're thinking. My actions are what allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you. Miss Aura! She'd better not be here to just complain about something. Miss Blackquill, I want to apologise to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault. Yes, it's true the courts are filled with incompetent idiots still. The exact name is Chimera Destroy All Monster Girls. Ah. Wait, when we say destroy... like, can you contextualise the destruction a little bit for me? Are we talking about destroy as in, like, demolish? Or, are we talking about destroy monster girls in the Ishizoku reviewers sense? Have to play it myself, it's free? Ha. Okay. I'll consider it. Klonko's a girl you wouldn't mind smacking? Lucky robot. I suppose I could let you handle the rest of this case for me. Oh, Miss Aura, does this mean you're starting to trust the system again? Oh, I wish that was me. No, of course not. Be quiet, hunk of junk. It's just, I wouldn't mind if you were the ones who took Meets' killer down. Leave it to us. We'll get him. So I guess that means she's starting to trust us, at least. Husband! Aura. What do you mean not a lucky robot? Dodso, don't you go soft on me now. Don't you go soft on me now. You got to stay the course. Simon, I'm so glad that both you and the princess were cleared of all suspicion. And it's all thanks to me and my robots. You'd better be grateful. I never imagined you would go to that far, though you always were extreme. But I don't recall ever requesting your help. As closed as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live in the slammer. I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. You'd probably give me the death penalty. You know me all too well. That's very funny. I guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. But I truly was about to be executed tomorrow. Though because of you, it looks like I won't be crossing the sticks just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aura. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish. Simon. Oh. That cut like a knife, man. That cut like a fucking knife. I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that. Aura. Alright. That's enough of that. Bailiff, take me to the detention centre. What Miss Blackquill did was inexcusable. But it's clear she did it out of love for her brother. I still can't wrap my mind around Detective Fulbright being the Phantom. I can't believe he killed Clay. Right. And murdered my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. 2 lesbians, a brother and a kid? Bad Ara. Wait, what? Hold on. Ara didn't say anything about it being a saucy family. No. Are you trying to imply that, like... that Simon and Aura would have a little smoochy, or Simon and Athena? No. Athena can keep her grubby mitts off my boy. I will slice her. I will cut her. Right. You know what's saucy? Pizza. Yeah. Or hot sauce. Hot sauce is pretty saucy. Chief Prosecutor. Yes? I would ask a favour. Would you allow me to stand at the prosecutor's bench for this trial? I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hand. That was my plan all along, after all. It's highly unconventional for a man of my position to stand in court. Sir. You had some barbecue ribs. Ooh. Nice. I had lemon sole with chips and some peas for my dinner tonight. Very basic British dinner, but delicious. I love lemon sole. absolutely one of my favourite fish. It's got that crispy coating on it as well. Even spaghetti and meatballs with homemade bread. Nice. Bell pepper and mushrooms in the sauce. Good stuff, good stuff. What? What do you mean, Hart? It's fish. Fish and chips, but like... sole is a flatfish, so it's like a flounder. But it's a very, like, sought-after fish for eating. You had a can of mackerel and toast. Oh, okay. Mackerel's pretty nice. Mackerel's pretty nice. Like, canned mackerel actually goes hard. Goes a lot harder than people think. The formal paperwork has yet to be filed, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take the prosecutor's bench in your official capacity and uncover the truth by your own hand. I'm much obliged. The day to part with these has come at last. Chief Prosecutor, could you? Huzzah. How long have I waited? Maybe it's the sense of freedom, but even the air seems fresher, the light brighter. And I will relish slashing that blackguard Fulbright to shreds without mercy. I don't have to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is. Oh, I'm so glad, but I won't cry just yet. After all, we've still got a trial to finish. You're still going to cry, Athena. I promise. No, not yet. It's not all over yet, Phoenix. Prosecutor Blackquill. Mr. Wright. Please avenge Clay's death for me. What are you talking about, Apollo? You come to the defence's bench with me. I am? Well, I can't expect Athena to assist me now, can I? She's the defendant. That leaves you, Apollo. But are you sure you want me? I took a leave of absence and everything. Well, our office is pretty short-handed, and you're all I've got. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Yeah, like fish. Like, I love seafood. I love seafood, so, like, sole is delicious. You know, I love eating a nice, tasty bit of sole, right? But then salmon, chef kiss. Salmon cooked right is so good. Salmon is so good. Like, I would happily eat... What is a sole? It's a flatfish. So, you know, you get flounders and fish that are on the seafloor. It's one of those. So you tend to get them. Yeah. So it's a bottom dweller, but it's really sought after for meat, like for its flesh. Salmon, I love. Yeah, pink fish, delicious. Cod, I quite like. Bassa is actually very good. Bassa's really nice, considering it's a cheap fish. It's actually like, yeah, this is good. This is good. This is decent. Apollo. Athena, I can say it with all my heart now. I believe in your complete innocence. And now we're going to prove it to the world. Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it.
So, you won't be needing that eye patch anymore, right?
Oh.
Right, because I'm fine now.
Hello there, real Matt on guard. What are you doing? What are you doing joining? What are you doing joining Matt on guard? You're supposed to be in prison, sir. We sent you to prison. What? Wait, did they give you? Did they give you internet in prison? Hold on a minute. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Okay, there we go. Right. I'm sorry, Matt, but here's some advice on catfishing it from a very muddy place where it tastes dirty. Put him in a clean tank for a few weeks. Interesting. Interesting. You didn't send him to prison, you let Tequila take care of him. Damn. Wait, do you mean take care of him or take care of him? You share the same cell as Christoph Gavin. Do I dare ask what goes on in that cell? Wait, it's Ace Attorney. I know what goes on in that cell. The, Chris Guard is not a ship I've actually seen before. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, I thought that Manfudge was a unique ship, but Chris Guard? You're giving me a lot to consider. Macro's pretty good? Now, this is the Apollo I know. Welcome back, Apollo. It's almost time for the trial to restart, though it looks like you have things well in hand. Not to be mistaken with Emmanuel Macron, the French president. I should head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? I want to look into a few things. Namely, the first people on the scene 7 years ago, the facial data registered by the robot, and Detective Fulbright's background. Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. I expect to be repaid with a victory right. Now, if you'll excuse me. What do you mean you, Christopher, with Furio? Ha. Furguard. Furguard. Okay. So this is an interesting ship. We're getting all the interesting ships tonight. Is Furguard like as good a ship as Manfudge? As that's Manfudge. It's Manfred von Karma, ex-judge. Okay, you two all set to go? You bet I am. Let's do this. This is it. The final battle. The murder of Apollo's friend. The courtroom bombing. And the case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. Destiny has called us to bring the one responsible for it all to justice today. It's time, chat. Time for our date with our husband. Let us now reconvene. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has never been more ready. You know, this is the first time we've been at the defense bench together since I debuted. Now you mention it. Although back then, I thought you were more loud than you were reliable. You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. You've grown a lot. Well, there have been some hiccups, but I guess I've done pretty well. You're going to have to go eat if you want to be ready for D&D. No worries, Aaron. The VOD will be up on YouTube as normal, so yeah, feel free to jump in for that. Not making barbecue trying to be fancy. Europeans don't have strange politics. Europeans just have politics of like, there's a country next door to me, I hate them. There's a county next to my county, I hate them. There's a town next to my town, I hate them. Europeans just all hate each other. We're a very straightforward, like, people, generally. You still got that ego fist, though. There's Paris and I hate them. Exactly. Prosecutor Blackquill. With the 7-year mistake now resolved, you can finally take your rightful place. Yes, I guess we can keep the chit-chat for later. Bailiff, please bring in the witness immediately. Even those handcuffs off, Prosecutor Blackquill seems to be pretty much the same. 7 years of grumpiness doesn't go away so easily, I guess. Bobby Fulbright here. I heard I was needed on the stand, so here I am. Detective Fulbright, do you know why you have been called to give testimony? Yep, because there's only one reason why I'd be called. And that is because it's time for justice. In justice we trust.
Objection!
No, you motherfucker. You can't fool us with that act anymore. Your justice is nothing but lies. What? Are you questioning the integrity of my sense of justice? Now, this is what gave it away for me, chat. Recall, right? The security video. We don't have the security footage from, like, the other day, do we? Or from the 7-year case. But do you remember his right hand was wounded? Do you remember in 3-2, abortion of a case though it was, Luke Atme kept on flashing the evidence in front of us. He keeps on flashing a wounded hand in front of us. That's not an anger mark. That's a scar. That's a scar. He keeps on flashing his injured hand in front of us. This is what gave it away. I was just sat there, right? I'll tell you what happened. I was sat there eating some lunch, and I put some nuclear hot sauce on my lunch to the point where I was tripping balls a little bit. And I was in the office, so that makes it a bit more dangerous because, you know, you don't want to be tripping balls in the office. But I was, and I will have to deal with whatever comes from that. But I just had a eureka moment. I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. Are you questioning the integrity of my sense of justice? I mean, sure, sometimes I make mistakes, but hey. He's acting exactly the same as always. How'd you trip balls from hot sauce? Have you seen the episode of The Simpsons where Homer takes a little lick of that really spicy chili and he goes on a spirit journey? Like that. That is actually, like, not... that's not really all that inaccurate. Like, if you have hot sauce that is hot enough, the heat... like, basically the chemicals in it will eventually make your body start to go a bit weird. And... yeah, it's really, really, really an odd feeling. It's kind of fun, though. Tell me about it. You must be feeling awfully confident. Fulbright, if you wish to dispel our suspicions, then let's get to your testimony. All right, fine. You want me to prove my righteousness? I can certainly do that. I'm the very embodiment of justice itself. I wonder if you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments. And this bit about the escape route is only a theory. You don't have any proof. What we do have is proof that Athena Sykes is the culprit, the lighter with her prints on it. Okay. So you're saying the suspicions against you are completely false, and the defendant is the real culprit? That's right. Mr. Laura's escape route is totally circumstantial. He doesn't have any proof that I made a big leap onto a ladder. We don't have proof. You are correct about that. However, you don't have any proof for your claim either. Oh, I guess you're right. But you can't define justice with evidence. Who can define it anyway? Justice? Just is. Okay.
Objection!
Don't make me break out a dictionary on you. Ah! Please don't throw the book at me! Huh? Likes being talked down to, likes being stepped on, likes tall women, likes catty girls, likes tripping by experienced pain, and I'm married. You present evidence to the courts of me being a masochist? I mean... objection? I guess? Objection? I guess? Maybe? Just... tell me that Phantom didn't just make me set up a stupid pun for him. Let's just try not to lose focus, alright? Yeah, I mean, Hades is right, Dodds. You're quite new to the channel. The regulars who've been here for a while, they're just like, you know that meme of a human priestess from Goblin Slayer saying to High Elf Archer, you get used to it. That's kind of how my regulars are. It's like, oh, Shinsu's saying unhinged shit again. You get used to it. You get used to it. Let's just try not to lose focus, alright? But my justice is crystal clear. What's not clear are your eyes. Wake up and smell the justice. You used to my... Yes, Daddy. Enough of your rubbish, Fulbright. If you have even an ounce of justice, then you will answer the court's questions and prove it. Prosecutor Blackquill? Prosecutor Blackquill looks torn. Well, Fulbright was his partner after all. Prosecutor Blackquill is right. The truth will be revealed in the cross-examination. The suspicions against Detective Fulbright are, at this point, only suspicions. As is my duty, I will judge the claims against the detective as impartially as I can. Does anyone have any objections? That's fine, Your Honor. Ha 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 ha! Now ask away, don't hold back. Well, there don't appear to be any objections. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. Hydration check, thank you. Alright.
Hold it!
Hold it! The embodiment of justice. Those are just empty words. But they say if you keep saying something, it can eventually become the truth. Isn't that how people make their dreams come true too? By wishing over and over? Alright, alright. Let's just move on. I need to hydrate with how thirsty I am. A.
Hold it!
My arguments are hardly far-fetched. There's careful reasoning behind my theory. Yeah, well, apparently there's been a reasoning behind even a tofu burger. But what we have against Miss Sykes, though, is not just reasoning, but solid evidence. And it's called the lighter, with Miss Sykes' fingerprints on it in the victim's blood. Yeah, that's true. But wait. Detective Fulbright was the one who brought that evidence to the trial. If you harbour any suspicions, I suggest you ask Fulbright, right, Dono. Especially about that lighter. He's right, but what exactly should I ask about? The position of the prints. So, hold on. Do we have... There's something I want to see. The perp held a lighter with an earth emblem on it in their left hand and a knife in their right. If we can prove that the knife is in the left hand, we might be on something there. Please tell the court about the position of the prints on the lighter. They're around the same spot on either side, as it would be if she were holding it up. I suppose it was used to light the room. It'll be held that way. Could you please add that statement to your testimony? The prints were placed just the way they would be if someone were holding it lit. Okay. Press there. Yeah, Miss Blackquill did mention she saw a little lighter being held up. Yep, meaning the person Miss Blackquill saw was the owner of the fingerprints. It just strengthens the argument against Miss Sykes. This might be a swap the extra statement. This line of question is going to get me anywhere except conviction land. Should I try asking him something else? The number of prints? So, how many prints were found exactly? 3. The index finger, the thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger of a right hand. Your Honor, that's an important statement. Could we please have it swapped into my testimony? You got it. He beat me to it. Being an investigator and testifying speed's the key. At least I made the swap easy this time. Okay.
Hold it!
Hold it! So 3 prints from a right hand were found in the lighter, huh? Are you certain of this? I'd stake my life on it. Mr. Wright, isn't it odd he's saying the prints are from Athena's right hand? Why would you say that? Well, think about it for a second. Athena always wears that glove on her right hand, right? So there's no way she'd leave prints of those 3 fingers from her right hand. Hey, great point. Why didn't I catch that one? Aura said that the... let me show you. They had the light... Oh, they had the lighter in their left hand. Yeah, you're right. When did I catch that one? Detective Fulbright, I'm sure you heard a discussion just now about how Miss Sykes always wears a glove on her right hand. Well, I have only one thing to say to that. Do you have evidence that she was wearing that glove at the time of the incident? No, I don't. I guess we don't. If you want to prove the defendant innocent, you have to ask better questions than that. Okay, election, you smells magoo. Right, yeah, we'll try and present the lighter here. Let's proceed with your testimony, shall we? Certainly, certainly. The statement that was added, I'm not sure if it's relevant or not. Well, at least he seems willing to answer our questions. Let's keep asking about different things, see if we can uncover an inconsistency. Detective Fulbright is a tougher adversary than I thought. I've got it. We need to present the, we need to present the, right hand, because Aura's statement says they had the lighter in their left hand. Now, it's possible she's looking at something in a reflection or mirrored somehow, but we're going to present the lighter, alright?
Objection!
You say the prints were from her right hand, is that correct? That's right, very clear prints. But that just doesn't add up. Huh? What doesn't add up? According to Miss Blackquill, who saw the culprit herself, this person held the lighter in their left hand. Oh? So here's the dilemma before us. Why are the prints on the lighter from a right hand instead of a left? Ah! You're right. It doesn't make sense, does it? Your Honor, this lighter can hardly be called incriminating evidence. The witness's claims don't even hold water. Detective Fulbright, I hope you have a good explanation for this. I just can't understand it. They're definitely right-hand prints. I just noticed, why does he, like, adjust his sunglasses with the figure of a gun? Well, then, why are they inconsistent with Miss Blackwell's statement? I got it. What have you got, Detective? The mirror. The witness must have seen a reflection of the culprit in the mirror. Go on. Miss Blackquill was looking in through the window of Barton Lounge 1, wasn't she? I believe so. If you mean the little window in the back and to the right of the room. That's right, and across the room on the opposite wall is a large mirror. I do remember seeing it. Ah, so you're saying... Yeah, the culprit Miss Blackquill saw must have been a reflection of that person in the mirror. Okay. I see. In that case, right and left would appear reversed, wouldn't they? Now do you see? That's the logic of pure justice.
Objection!
But your argument's only conjecture. You don't have any proof that what Miss Blackquill saw was a reflection.
Silence!
Yes, Daddy. Right, Dono. You'd sooner nick yourself than him like that. Put some more muscle into it. That's right. Besides, the lighter couldn't have been in the left hand. And why not? But that wouldn't change the how she would see the hand. Yeah, exactly. Miss Blackquill said she saw an earth emblem on the lighter, didn't she? That emblem was only on one side of the lighter. You're right. There's no emblem on the other side. Exactly. As blank and smooth as the judge's fine scalp. If the culprit had held the lighter in their left hand, they would have covered the emblem. Ah, shit. What's more, this is the kind of lighter you flick open with your thumb before lighting. So if the culprit had held it in their left hand with the emblem out and visible, they wouldn't have been able to open it, let alone light it. But if they had held it in their right hand, they could easily open it and light it. This all means that the culprit was definitely holding the lighter in their right hand. Ah, shite. Come back, my beautiful contradiction. It appears you've planted a flower that bears no fruit. See how it withers before my flower, Justice. He's tough. He's managed to discredit almost everything I've proven up to this point. In justice we trust. Now do you see? I'm not this phantom you've been talking about. I mean, are you sure there really is a spy? I bet they're just a figment of imagination. Oh, it's so sad. But I'm afraid Miss Sykes is the culprit.
Hold it!
Detective Fulbright, I believe you said that the emblem is only on one side of the lighter. Are you sure about that? Of course I'm sure. Why don't you take a look for yourself and see? Do you see an earth emblem on both sides of the lighter? Uh-oh. I knew it. You're lying, detective. Pardon me? You mean... Yeah, my bracelet reacted to a statement about the emblem. He's definitely hiding something big. And I think if we use my talent, we might be able to figure it out. Justice Dono, are you to use that cheat of yours again? It's not cheating, Prosecutor Blackquill. Very well. Whether I like it or not, I suppose we should use whatever works right now. Go on, then. We have Prosecutor Blackquill's reluctant blessing, apparently. Okay, Apollo, you're up. Here goes, then. Detective Fulbright, could you repeat that last statement one more time? What in the world are you up to? Alright, fine. I'll say it as many times as you like. Listen carefully. The Earth emblem is only on the side that you can see when held in the right hand. Time to get perceived, nerd. His hand's flicking. Do you see that? His thumb was flicking. His thumb was flicking. That's, I think, the perceive. Yeah. Why is he doing it?
Gotcha!
Get gotcha, nerd. Detective Fulbright, you might not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the phrase, the Earth emblem, your left thumb moves. In fact, it appears as though you're running it along the edge of your holster. Mr. Lawyer, I don't have the foggiest notion of what you're talking about. Is it because he was injured on that hand by Athena? No, it's his right hand that was injured. But his left hand is where the holster is, which implies that he's going to go for a gun. Be that as it may, I know it has something to do with the lighter. Let me examine it. But why? You're not making any sense. You can't just...
Silence.
Yes, Daddy. Be still and do as you're told, Fulbright. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't mind them having a look-see, should you? What? Not you too, Prosecutor Blackquill. I'm not sure what this is all about, but if Prosecutor Blackquill insists, it must be something important. I will allow the defense to examine the lighter. Good. Now maybe we'll learn something new. I hope so. Now let's check every inch of this thing. We've got lots of prints there. Ugh. The back is covered with blood. Say, do you notice anything funny about this blood stain? You're right. It suddenly breaks off unnaturally. Supposedly the lighter was held with the right hand so the emblem was visible. If so, the print should be around the emblem on the lid where you open it. You're right. There's definitely something off here. It's hard to tell if the prints are from a right hand or left just by looking. I don't think looking at each print with the naked eye will tell us anything new. But this lighter definitely hides a secret. I agree. Let's check it out carefully. What about the actual Earth emblem itself? So this is the Earth emblem Detective Fulbright was talking about. See anything noteworthy? Hey, look at this. The emblem's actually some kind of button. Oh my god, it's a gun. Is this a 10mm pistol? Oh, sorry, the 10 caliber pistol. Wow, it's transformed into something. A handle? A trigger? Is this what I think it is? There's no question, it seems. What you have there is a gun. A what? A gun? So that's it. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial where Director Cosmos was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small, maybe a 10 caliber. This little compact gun probably takes bullets of that caliber. It looks like this is the gun that was fired at the scene. I'm flabbergasted, the lighter was a gun? So when Detective Fulbright would touch his holster, that's right, whenever he mentioned the Earth emblem, he must have subconsciously thought about the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning. A lighter that transforms into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. It's not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly in the domain of elite spies. Detective Fulbright, you will explain yourself. There's nothing for me to explain. I didn't know the lighter could transform. I mean, it was found in the Space Museum and then brought it straight in. Oh, I didn't even have time to check it out.
Objection!
Well, unexpec. Whenever you mentioned the Earth emblem, you touched your holster. You subconsciously did that because you knew it was a gun. Accuse me all you want, but where's your proof? Do you have any evidence that I knew the lighter was a gun? Not exactly. And whose prints are on it? Miss Sykes' prints. It proves that she's the culprit who fired the gun at the scene. It would appear that the detective is right. Are you guys really trying to prove your client innocent or what? Although it pains me to do this, now that we are where we are, I have to make the following assertions coming from the prosecution side. The person who fired the gun at Director Cosmos in the lounge after the incident, and the person Miss Blackquill saw holding the lighter, and the person who murdered Mr. Terran, and the person who bombed the Space Center, are all the defendant, Athena Sykes. The prints on the lighter are decisive proof. No! Ha 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 ha! Now do you see? A man on the side of justice couldn't possibly be the culprit. And I think this about sums up Miss Sykes' part in the whole affair. The evidence certainly does seem to point to the defendant's guilt. Do you have anything to say, Prosecutor Blackquill? Evidence is everything in court. Therefore, Fulbright's claims stand firm. But, calm down, Apollo. He's just saying that because he has to as the prosecutor. Mr. Lawyer, our job is to pursue criminals in the name of justice. You shouldn't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as a habit. In fact, you have a bad habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bedhead.
Objection!
Says the man who wears sunglasses at night. If it's proof you want, it's proof you'll get. I'll prove that this lighter is not Miss Sykes, but yours. Yeah, look, see, he's doing it again. He's doing the gun expression again. Sounds like you've hit on something, Apollo. It's just, if the prints on the lighter are the basis for accusing Athena, I think we should reconsider the credibility of the evidence itself. You mean, you think this lighter might be forged evidence? That's right. It could all be part of Fulbright's bigger plot. Did you do anything out of the ordinary while I was off on my own? I can definitely think of a few things. It is indeed. Have a look at this. What's this? A lighter? Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. Ah, yeah, I just happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. I can always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Consider it a gift. I told you he was acting weird. If we assume he's been laying a big trap for us all along, there's got to be something off about this piece of evidence. What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? I think it has to be where the prints are on it. Anything odd about where the prints are? No, I guess if it was fired as a gun, it's about where the prints would be, but there's got to be something off about this piece of evidence. How the prints were left on it? No, I guess I don't see anything strange about how the prints were left on the lighter. Nothing unusual about the angle of the prints or how they're patchy in places, but the owner of the prints? Are they really Athena's fingerprints? They definitely match the print data. But what about the data itself? Detective Fulbright, you were the one who provided us with the lighter and print data. Isn't that correct? Yeah, what about it? You say Miss Sykes' prints match the print data, but I have to wonder, was the data used official? Mr. Wright, are you suggesting the evidence might have been fabricated? I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's re-examine the prints. Coffee is a godsend? Fuck yeah. Smoky with a hint of bitter? Yeah, I love coffee. I drink a lot of it a day. I drink lots of coffee. Like, to the point where the first thing I do in the morning is I have a banging coffee shit. And it's just like, that sets me up for my day. I go and lose in the fight room for about half an hour, and then that's it, I'm good for the day. Using the official sanctioned print data of the people involved in this case. What? You dare insult the epitome of justice and integrity? There's no need for such annex.
Silence.
Yes, Daddy. Your Honor, I lend my voice to the defense's request. You must allow the test to be rerun. Very well then. Bailiff, smack his nuts. You should see the coffee I have at work. Ah, it appears that the official data is here. Yeah, I have a massive cup at work, and I just free pour coffee into it, and it comes out like people could smell it from a mile away. It's like, no, I'm not going to make my coffee weaker. It has to be as dark as the midnight, and as bitter as a cold brew. Most Brits you know hate coffee. It's very popular here. We've got this like reputation as people who just drink tea, but it's kind of half and half. There's enough people over here who like coffee that it's pretty good business. And the results? It's just as the defense claims. This proves that the prints on the lighter do not belong to the defendant. Ah! You don't like coffee doesn't play well with your sensitivities? It doesn't play well with mine either, but that doesn't stop me. Because I'm kind of stupid. So, yeah. Yes. The fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Clay Terran. Okay. Those were Clay's fingerprints on the lighter. Ah, I see. Come to think of it. Wasn't it you, Fulbright, who collected the victim's prints? I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity, after all. When you took the deceased fingerprints, you could have easily planted his prints on the lighter with his blood. You prefer yours with a splash of milk to cool it down and make it smoother? Or black with buttery syrup mixed in to give a breakfast taste? See, sometimes I drink coffee for the taste. If I have coffee for the taste, I like to have it sort of 2 tablespoons, one teaspoon of sugar, and then frothy milk. But normally I will have the equivalent of 4 tablespoons black. And that's it. Black, no sugar? My man. After which, you wipe the blood off of his hand. Yeah. By your own admission, you were also the one who compiled the phony print data. All to put the blame on Miss Sykes. Ah! Butter syrup? Interesting. This ploy must have been to distract us from the Phantom who's behind everything. You were out to create the impression that the Phantom wasn't the true culprit. So does this mean Detective Fulbright really is the Phantom? Remember the killer's escape route. No ordinary person would have been fearless enough to attempt it. Nobody but the Phantom, the man with no emotions, could have done it. Gah! Detective Fulbright, you were the only one who could have used that escape route. Gah! Fulbright, are you really the Phantom? Answer me, or so help me, I will slash you to tiny slivers where you stand. Alright, I'll talk. I confess. I'm not the Phantom.
Silence.
Yes, Daddy. It's all over. Now be a man and admit it already. But I'm not a spy. I'm an undercover investigator. I've actually been after the Phantom myself. An undercover investigator? That sounds less than wholesome to me. A person who hides his identity and secretly investigates in order to uncover information. And that's what you really are, Fulbright. That's right. I was working to track down the Phantom. But sadly, Even though I was supposed to catch the spy ended up catching me. He took my family hostage and forced me to cooperate with him. What?
Objection!
You telling us this now? What if you say it's true then? Just 1 second, chat, 1 second. Did I say something again? Hold on, give me a sec. Oh man, losing his mind. That's all. Don't worry. Who was the mystery person Miss Blackquill and Mr. Starbucks saw? It was the Phantom, I tell you. All I did was hope by having that emergency ladder lowered for him.
Objection!
I don't believe you. Then how do you explain the fabricated lighter? Oh, excuse me. That was also one of the Phantom's demands. Being the detective in charge of the case, it was easy for me to fabricate evidence. Freeing the crown and Athena Sachs was just another of the Phantom's orders. You expect me to buy that? Fulbright. What was the Phantom's ultimate objective? I was told it was to sabotage the rocket launch. Someone who didn't want the launch to happen must have given the order. Actually, I have to apologize to you too. The Phantom told me to get close to you. He ordered me to get back that psych profile you have on him. So, he sent a buzzard of his own to tail me this past year, did he? I haven't been a champion of justice. I've just been a pawn of evil. A pawn of the Phantom who stole the Moonrock and killed Dr. Sykes 7 years ago. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He was very careful to hide it. He has top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. So there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believed I was the Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. Well, I bet even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom, after all. With the ceiling blown off, I suppose you are vulnerable to a sniper's shot in this courtroom. Just 2 seconds ago, Fulbright was treating Athena like a criminal. Does he really think he's going to lie his way out of it now? But on the surface, everything does seem to make sense. This could be bad, Mr. Wright, if we can't find a flaw in his logic. He's right. After we come all this way, we can't let Fulbright wriggle free now. There! I finally told the truth. Now I hope you see how foolish it was to think I was the Phantom. Oh, what the fuck, he's locked in. He is locked in. You're an intelligent man, Prosecutor Blackquill. You believe me, right? I believe you. I don't think you're the Phantom. What? How can you say that, Prosecutor Blackquill? It's obvious he's the Phantom.
Silence!
Yes, Daddy. Evidence is everything, right, Donut? And you must admit, there's no clear evidence that Fulbright is the Phantom. Ugh. His true face showed for a split second, exactly. Yes, as I recall, the only solid proof we've seen up to this point is the fact that Detective Fulbright fabricated evidence. But... I've known Fulbright here for a year now, and all this time he's been quite intent on rehabilitating me. I don't believe his efforts were a lie. Prosecutor Blackquill! This fool truly thought he could reform a death row inmate like me. He went so out of his way in his efforts for me. He actually became quite a nuisance, really. You're about to see your favourite moment in the whole game? Oh boy. Prosecutor Blackquill, you believe me? Please tell me Prosecutor Blackquill hasn't really been taken in by this big phony. However, even if it was against your will, you still acted as the Phantom's accomplice. You will have to pay the price for that. Throw yourself at my mercy, and don't you ever betray me again. Have you got that? Yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh, such a bond of trust is a rare and beautiful thing. In any case, it looks like everything has been resolved. I can now hand down a not guilty verdict with confidence. Very good, I'm glad to hear it. It's all over. Everything's been cleared up, and Miss Sykes will go free as well. Mr. Wright, we can't let the trial end here. If we do, the Phantom, the man who killed Clay, will get away. I know, but... what do I do? I don't have any proof that Detective Fulbright's the Phantom. Is this it? Is he going to get away just like that? Now, if you'll excuse me, my next investigation awaits. And with that... I'm off. What? The defense... no, wait. Not the defense. The defendant feels it's not time for a verdict yet and would like to see this trial continue. What? But I was just about to declare you innocent of all charges. It just doesn't feel right to be standing here. Hey, Apollo. Think you could scooch over? Hey! Athena, what are you doing? Hang on, sibling moment, Ara. Didn't Apollo tie Athena up in BDSM earlier in this game? Did he not do that? Hope we don't get held in contempt of court. I have some questions for you, Detective Fulbright. Are you relieved that you are no longer under suspicion of being the Phantom? Are you grateful to Prosecutor Blackwell for what he's done for you? Of course I am, and I'm truly grateful from the bottom of my heart. Athena, where are you going with these questions? I have yet to hear a single emotion behind any Detective Fulbright's words, boss. The suspicion against him has been cleared up, but he's not feeling happy at all. What? Does that mean... we may not have any evidence, but the heart doesn't lie. That's it. With your special ability, we might be able to stop him. Okay, here we go then. Your Honour, the detective has been deeply traumatised by our accusations. Yes, well... even before this, I thought he was a rather odd fellow. If he doesn't get counselling right away, who knows what might happen to him? Prosecutor Blackwell, can you believe the nonsense the defence is spouting? Fulbright, I think you'd better have that counselling. Not you too! You've been making batty remarks ever since you were accused of being the Phantom. Such as, you're an undercover investigator and your family has been taken hostage. I fear you might have finally lost it. But I thought you believed me.
Silence.
Yes, Daddy. Oh, how you amuse me so. What's going on here? That was an excellent bit of psychological manipulation just now, Simon. Yeah, definitely Dino Dance. I knew you would catch on, Athena. Huh? Mind filling me in here? Haha, guess we left you in the dust, Mr. Wright. Simon was only pretending to believe Detective Fulbright. Because he knew I'd noticed if there was a lack of emotions like joy or relief in this response. So he gave me the chance to take a listen. And listen I did to the voice of Detective Fulbright's heart. What? You two were working together just now? Come on now, Athena. Show us what's inside Fulbright's heart. You got it. Time to check the instant replay. Widget, mon ami, let's do this. Alrighty. It's time, chat. Thank you for believing in me, Prosecutor Blackwell. I am an undercover investigator, but the Phantom was coercing me. He stole the moon rock and killed Dr. Sykes 7 years ago. I'm a bad person for cooperating with such a man. But he took my family hostage. What else could I do? Nothing. Nothing. Even with all his over-the-top expressions and gestures, he's registering no emotion at all. It's just like I thought, and right in line with the Phantom Psych profile. Oh, he's locked in again. Hold on. Let me, hang on, Ara, I need to send this somewhere. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Hold on. We need to send this here. It's for the game face. Detective Fulbright, this lack of emotion proves you're the Phantom. Oh. Hey, what's going on? Wait, hold it. What do you think you're doing, Detective? Me? I'm not doing anything. He's trying to hack into the Move Matrix program. I can't do anything with it like this. Go, bird! Gah! Fancy device you have there, but I'll tolerate no cheating, thank you. Fauna game face again. Sorry about that. As an undercover agent, I tend to use my secret arsenal without even thinking. More like as a spy. Thanks, Prosecutor Blackquill. Cast down Cisco. Yes, slaughter them. There, now that you can't hack me anymore, I dare you to try to hide your lack of emotions from us. Lack of emotion? What are you talking about? Of course I have feelings. As a matter of fact, you've wounded me very deeply with that accusation. What's going on? All of a sudden I'm getting an overwhelmingly happy reading. Huh? But he's literally crying us a river over there. Oops. My mistake. How about this? Gah! Yikes, now he's angry all of a sudden? What's he trying to pull? Like as not, it would appear our friend is not completely without emotion. It's just as it says in Dr. Sykes' profile of the Phantom. The subject has a unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. Oh, I get it. So he has some emotions, right? Precisely, which leads me to wonder why you can't sense any emotions from him at all. I believe it's most likely because he is controlling his emotions. Very good, Prosecutor Blackquill, you're correct. It's the result of our daily training. Good luck with this mood matrix. I take your challenge. A very important skill for us undercover investigators, you know? More like for us spies. Seriously. But I wonder why he suddenly showed several strong emotions. Wait a minute. I think I know. I sense there's a feeling you're trying to hide with your exaggerated emotions, Detective. A feeling I'm trying to hide? That's a good one. You're the ones who've been saying I'm the Phantom because I don't have any emotions. I'll just try to show you the range of deep emotions I truly possess. Well, then you have no objections to me analysing you, right? You gotta go? Right, no worries, Ara. I will, yeah. The VOD for this will be up, like, later, so feel free to check out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube site. Okay. No, but have fun with D&D, alright? Have fun with D&D. Have a good time. No, analyze away. But I will state it again. I am not the Phantom. And be forewarned that your analysis will have no effect, because you're about to see what an undercover agent can really do. Alright. Me? The Phantom? No way. Oh, I'm so sad. See? I told you I have emotions. How dare you accuse me of being someone who would kill over a moon rock? I do regret cooperating with the Phantom, of course. But I'm so glad this whole misunderstanding is cleared up now. Hold on. Let's go back to the start. Dun, 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 dun. Is it rhythmic? Let's save here. When did we talk about Moonrock? The Moonrock was like something that got stolen near the start of the case. The rhythm's different here. Listen, they're all at the same rhythm. The fear. Sadness and fear. I think I've got it. He's always sad in number 3? Yeah. I think I've got it.
Got it.
I found it. I found the one emotion you're truly feeling. What? Hidden in the middle of that chaotic storm, I saw one emotion that never disappeared. When you talked about the moon rock, you felt a fear that wouldn't fade. Fear, huh? A fear that a man with hardly any emotion feels, huh? And it was a response to that moon rock. Oh, he's doing fauna game face again. Detective Fulbright, I presume you feel fear concerning the moon rock because... You failed to steal it? Yeah, I think that's it. Hold on, I need to send this screenshot somewhere else really quickly. Give me a second, chat. There we go. There we go. You failed to steal it. You tried but failed to steal the moon rock. That stain on your curious spy has left you feeling afraid. But the moon rock did indeed disappear from the laboratory. And I'd hardly think a person who feels so little would feel fear over a thing like that. Don't everyone jump on the Phoenix hype train all at once now. Oh, it's his identity. It is his identity being uncovered. Alright. Of course. That's it. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He was very careful to hide it. He has top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries. So there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believe I was the Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. I bet even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. This case is about the Phantom after all. The thing is, like, for someone who's undercover, if they fail their mission, then, you know, it's, like, potentially pretty bad. But if they get discovered, the mission will fail by default. So, and it also puts everyone else at risk. If they get discovered, they could be tortured. You know, if their identity is uncovered, they could be captured, tortured, subject to hot sauce enemas, and many other unpleasant things. Detective Fulbright, I think I know why you feel afraid. You're afraid that the moon rock will somehow reveal your identity. If his identity were revealed, he would be killed immediately. That's certainly enough to make even the Phantom feel afraid. Me? Afraid? I don't know what you're talking about. So there really is something about the moon rock that reveals identity. If you remember, Americans were mostly about getting the job done in third world, mix in second world, and first, you're always to never get discovered. I only really know about, like, CIA involvement in toppling regimes with ideological differences. And, I mean, I'm not American, I don't know the full history, but, like, that's the perception from outside. For a lot, for a lot of folk, you know. So, yeah. Okay. Apparently so. Wait a minute. Maybe the Phantom didn't so much steal the moon rock, but more like he had to take it with him. Because there was something on it that would reveal his true identity. What the fuck?
Hold it!
Where do you think you're going? Me? I'm not going anywhere. Is it just me, or was he going to use that weird watch thing to try to get away? How many more of those toys does he have? Am I going to get myself some? Detective Fulbright, you'll answer honestly to this court right now. Why do you feel fear in connection with the moon rock? In justice we trust, not emotions, Mr. Lawyer. Evidence is everything. I'm the Phantom because I'm afraid? Don't make me laugh. Ah! And what was that just now? But all human beings have hearts and experience emotions. Sometimes analysing a case from the psychological perspective is the best way to find the truth. Ah! Uh-oh. It's all just a waste of time. All your efforts and analysis served no purpose. And now, in this dark age of the law, nobody would believe your claim that it's effective. In an era where evidence is fabricated, do you truly expect feelings to be accepted as proof? And where exactly is your proof that I fear the moon rock anyway? Well, I admit it, I don't have any conventional proof. But I still say that examining a person's heart has its merits. Oh, really? Then why don't you listen carefully with those special ears of yours? Uh-oh. Listen to the voices of the hearts of the people in the gallery. All I hear is distrust. As you can see, the people are on my side, because all they see is a strange little girl using a weird little machine. But it's not like he used analytical psychology to falsely accuse people. Oh, he's got a thing to doubting himself. Miss Sykes' analytical psychology has breathed new life into the courtroom. It's freed the hearts of many witnesses, and has been key in getting the truth. Ha! What nonsense! Your Honor, the defense's claim is a false one. I don't feel any kind of fear when it comes to the moon rock. Oh, it's getting really hot in here now. I see. Now, give me a second, chat. Hold on. I just need to get this off. Oh, fucking hell, there we go. So I had to get my t-shirt off. There we go. Very well, I will give the opinion of this court. In a trial, I don't feel that a person's emotions are quite as compelling as actual evidence is. But, Your Honor... Oh, yeah. There, you see? Nobody believes you in your trumped-up charges. However, I do believe Miss Sykes' analyses can contribute to making the truth clear. I have seen her do this firsthand several times already. Surely you jest. So does this mean you'll accept my findings in this trial, Your Honor? Yes, I believe your claim, Miss Sykes. I think there is merit in examining why the witness feels fear in regard to the moon rock. That is the court's opinion on this matter. Then that's a win for me. No, a win for analytical psychology. Now, Mr. Phantom, you'll tell the court the reason for your fear. Analytical psychology? My fears? Fine. I'll show you precisely why those abstract things can't be considered evidence. He's got a really creepy laugh. Is this the final boss fight then, chat? Okay. Oh, the music's amped up, yeah. I felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom. Yeah, I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all. So the very fact I'm afraid of the moon rock means I'm not him. In fact, I'm on the side of justice! And there you have it. Now, do you see why I'm afraid of the moon rock? The stand makes his pant look like stockings and garter straps. You know what? Fair point, Dodso. Fair point. Sure, you sound convincing enough. But so does any two-bit con artist. It's all meaningless in the absence of evidence. Oh. The Phantom is like the mist. No flesh, no bones. My sword alone cannot cut it, right, Dono? With your deductive reasoning and the body of evidence before us, let us send this miserable Phantom fellow to the other world together. You and I, Prosecutor Blackquill. We have a duty to bring the Phantom down and restore the people's faith in the cause. Indeed, by covering for Athena, I allowed the Phantom to escape. And as a prosecutor, I gave birth to the people's mistrust with my murder conviction. I bear part of the responsibility as well, for being suspected of forging evidence and losing my attorney's badge as a result. The two of us and the Phantom were there at the beginning of the Dark Age of the law. Then it is also our burden to cut away the foul spectre we created, is it not? Until all that remains is the righteousness of the court and the faith of the people. He's locked in again. Trust? Understanding? Huh. Fragile ideals of the masses are controlled by emotion. Humans can't truly trust each other, which is exactly why the illusion of trust is so enticing.
Objection!
Proof of the Phantom. A crossdresser. Ha. Okay. Once two people overcome their misgivings, that's where real trust is to be found. You're free to believe what you want, but trust like that is stronger than you and your lies. Always. Okay, here we go then. Just a thought. Thank you.
Hold it!
Hold it! It only reminds you of the Phantom. Don't make me laugh. You are the Phantom. Evidence is everything in a court of law. Or did you forget? I was forced to test over a silly thing like feelings. But those tactics won't work from here on out. You need real evidence. Ugh. I hate to admit it, but he's right. I don't think there's any point on pressing on irrelevant bits. We need to just zero in on whichever bit seems relevant and nail him. Does he even have a family? He was stabbed with a knife, yeah, in his right hand. So, let's have a look at the evidence, huh? The badge. The diagram. The knife. The pamphlet. The hope capsule. The exhibit. This was cut from Moonrock. I think it's got something to do with the earring. I felt fear when I thought about the Moonrock because it reminded me of the Phantom. Let's try a press here. The earring will be the very last one we need. Okay.
Hold it!
Your family? Like, who in your family specifically? Oh, I don't know. Like, maybe my lover, for example? For example? Maybe. We need a more concrete answer than that. Maybe. My mother? My son? Or my daughter? Maybe it's all of them. I'm so sad and worried. I miss them so much. He's obviously lying. Look how upset I am. Is it any wonder I follow the Phantom's orders? You can't think of a single reason the Phantom might be afraid of the Rock. I thought the Phantom wasn't even supposed to have any feelings. How could someone like me with my wealth of emotions be expected to understand the guy? The Phantom, a person with very few emotions, would only be afraid of something really big. Like his cover getting blown big. I'm willing to bet the Moonrock has something to do with his identity, but what? Maybe the Phantom's fingerprints are on the rock? But fingerprints can be wiped off. Then maybe he wanted the rock so bad he literally drilled on left his DNA. We're dealing with a spy here, Athena, not a slob. True. But maybe the DNA part isn't too far off. Something unexpected happened to him during the incident 7 years ago. Ah, his blood. His blood's on something. I just know I have something that can show why the Phantom is afraid of the Moonrock. I'll just continue with my testimony while you're pondering, then, if you don't mind. This is the statement. This was at the crime scene 7 years ago. It was launched into space and only returned to Earth a few days ago. I think it's the capsule. He was stabbed before while he held the rock and his blood got on it. So he sends the rock into space, so it's out the way. And then when it comes back, he tries to steal it back at that point.
Objection!
It's not that. It's actually not the thing that makes the most sense. So we're going to have to think really abstract here, which is kind of annoying. The murder weapon used on Terran? Athena used one of these to stab the Phantom's hand. Maybe the knife?
Objection!
It's the knife, because of the DNA on it. Detective Fulbright, I assume you know what this is. Of course. That's the knife the Phantom used to kill Clay Terran. That's right. And the exact same type of knife. Miss Sykes used 7 years ago when she stabbed the Phantom's hand. Yeah, that was discussed earlier, as I recall. He dodged it first, so I only got his clothes. But I tried again. And this time you got him, didn't you? I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand. Miss Sykes then stated that she remembers the culprit bleeding. It's my theory that the culprit's blood got on the moon rock. And he was afraid that if the blood was analysed, his true identity would be revealed. That explains why the Phantom had to remove the moon rocks from the crime scene. You mean if we ran the analysis now, we'd know who the Phantom is? Yeah, I suppose so. But unfortunately, the moon rock in question is missing. That may be so, but I'm certain I can explain what happened to it in great detail. You can? Of course. No. You don't actually expect us to believe that, do you? Because you don't fool me. Ah! What this court needs is a bully-free zone. Ah, the infamous sword of the beguiling bluff. Its edges without compare. Come now, ready it with me, and show us just how finely it cuts. Your Honor, this is an outrage! Oh, I mean, this is an outrage? Ah! Go on, Right Dono. Let's start with something that's been bothering me for a while. Now, the culprit supposedly moved the moon rock from the lab. But in this video of him, it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, you're right! But here's something to consider. What if the Phantom hid the moon rock somewhere at the scene of the crime? Good thinking, boss. Security was super tight at the Space Center back then. All that, in spite of the space cruiser having very strict security in those days, battle cruiser operational. All personal effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going, hailing frequencies open. You couldn't even smuggle a withered leaf through the checkpoints. Take it slow. Does this mean the moon rock is still somewhere in the Space Center? In the name of justice, I proclaim that's impossible. And why's that? The Space Center was searched from top to bottom, and especially the lab, but the moon rock was never found. Ah, how could I forget about that? A sad but true fact we still haven't a grasp on how it was done. But the Phantom made the moon rock vanish into the ether. There's no way it just disappeared. Logic and evidence tells us otherwise. The Phantom didn't have the moon rock on him when he left the lab. Yet a thorough police search didn't turn up anything. And it never turned up in the 7 years after that either. The Phantom made the rock disappear without physically removing it himself. But how? There must have been a way. Think, Phoenix, think. How did the moon rock vanish from the robotics lab? It has to have gone into space. So can you or can you not show what happened to the moon rock, Mr. Wright? Yeah, I can, Your Honor. What? Oops. Oh, sorry. I mean, what? In that case, let's have your answer, Mr. Wright. How did the Phantom make the moon rock disappear from the crime scene? I think they said. I think my theory was right, and they've sent it into space. I think I just cooked it up. Phoenix Games are just NCIS Dora the Explorer. I wouldn't know. I've never seen Dora the Explorer. Well after my time. I have no idea what it entails.
Take that!
That's the Hope capsule, right? The one that went up with the Had 1 rocket. He couldn't carry the rock out, but he couldn't leave it in the sensor to be found either. So, there was only one safe place to stash it. The Hope capsule was there in the lab that day. Yes, the team must have loaded it onto the Hope space probe eventually. But if that's what happened, then the moon rock would have been launched into space along with the big rocket. Preposterous! It would mean that for these past 7 years, the moon rock was... Exactly. The Phantom got rid of the moon rock in the most cosmic way he knew how. It was out there, in the depths of space. Aboard the Hope space probe. Oh boy. What? Order! Order in the court! I understand now. The Phantom's original scheme was to sabotage the Hat 1 anyway. The villain used his primary objective to conveniently kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's right. He planned for the moon rock to be turned into a cosmic dust out in space, thereby destroying the one piece of evidence that could reveal his true identity. But Mr. Starbuck and the others foiled the Phantom's plot. The Hope space probe sailed off safely in its mission and returned 7 years later, with the capsule in tow. Ah! If we analyse the blood on the moon rock, it should make one thing crystal clear. That you were the Phantom all along, Detective Fulbright. So he killed Clay just so he could get the moon rock back? I believe so. His original assignment may have been just to sabotage the Hat 2, but... at the same time, he also had to retrieve the evidence of his crime 7 years ago. That's why he went to the boarding lounge and attacked Clay as he made his escape out of the rocket with the capsule. But in the end, it was all he could do just to escape himself, so he didn't get the capsule. Clay must have done everything he could to stop Fulbright. He probably hung onto that capsule for all he was worth until his very last breath. Oh, this is so funny. You make me laugh. You really do. Boy, he's totally out of whack now. It's game over for you, Detective Fulbright. Why don't you just admit to it all now? There's nothing to admit. I'm Bobby Fulbright, undercover investigator, I tell you. I'm not the Phantom. The blood on the rock is just another one of his schemes. A trap. I'm not so sure what to think. I suppose if the Phantom is a spy worth his salt, a trap is not out of the question.
Objection!
But in that case, you could say anything's a trap. That's what makes a trap a trap. I've been framed into taking the blame for the Phantom. Your Honor, I believe further investigation's in order.
Silence.
Yes, Daddy. Further investigation. More like plotting your escape. But no more. I will bring you to justice myself if I must. Here and now. I guess it's time to show you just what I'm really capable of. Da, Simon Blackquill. Hey, you guys aren't really... You're suffering? Yeah, I feel that. It's Edgeworth. It looks like I made it just in time. Edgeworth? I have good news for you, Mr. Wright. I've uncovered some very crucial facts. Did you find something out about what the Phantom's true identity? You might say that. I started by looking into the first people on the scene 7 years ago. All 3, an employee and 2 officers, were registered in the robot's recognition systems, but none of them looked the least bit like Detective Fulbright. You fell in the Big Wet trademark in the Netherlands. The Big Wet trademark in the Netherlands, what? I don't quite follow, if I'm honest. But that sounds painful. That's not good. But there's more. I've yet to share my most important finding. Mr. Wright, Prosecutor Blackquill. You'd best brace yourselves. Oh, the sea. I understand now. Uh-oh. The man you see there before you, Bobby Fulbright, is already long dead. What? What's that supposed to mean? An unidentified body that was found 1 year ago has now been proven to possess Bobby Fulbright's fingerprints. Then does this mean... Yes, that man there is an imposter pretending to be Bobby Fulbright. Fulbright's dead. Okay. Then this man isn't a bogus? Who in the world is he? My name is, no, not Shinsu, with a U at the end. Yes. Enough of your trickery. If you will not reveal yourself to us, then I shall do it for you. Oh! What the? Oh! His face! Yeah, his title's changed and all. Ah, look what you did to my mask. Mask? What is the meaning of this, witness? Okay, you got me. I guess I have to show you who I really am now. What? That's a bit of a weird question to ask, if I'm honest. Wait, but that's... Hey, Apollo. Yep, it's me, Solomon Starbuck. Mr. Starbuck? But that can't be right. Oh no, he's hot. Oh god. You can't really be the Phantom, can you?
Silence.
Yes, Daddy. Of course not. The real Starbuck was aboard the Hat 1, which was said to be destroyed. Yeah, this is just another mask. I mean, didn't I tell you? I'm an undercover investigator. I can change identities at will. I can be anyone I want.
Objection!
Not so fast. I have the Phantom site profile right here. If we compile a site profile and you compare the results, it'll prove that you're the Phantom. It's time for me to show you the real meaning of the phrase, the end justifies the means. Wait, what? That voice. Be a good redhead and sing I'm in love with the shape of you? No! No, no, no. No one should ever have to suffer listening to Ed Sheeran. That's a crime beyond compare. Go to Detroit for like 9 years. Oh, no. No. Oh my god, it's Skibbity Subtle. I cannot accept such evidence here, Skibbity Miss Sykes. Professor Means! Mask? I'll take what I want by any means necessary. Now give me that evidence. Huh? Time to take out the trash. Permanently. How could you? Now do you see how powerful the end justifies the means can be?
Silence.
Yes, Daddy. How pathetic. You can't even speak without wearing another man's face. Ah, but that's the life of an undercover agent for you. My real face has no meaning or value to me at all. Or perhaps it is really the case that... you don't even know who you are anymore. What must you see when you look in a mirror, Mr. Phantom? Not an awful lot, I'd wager. Skibbity, well, aren't you just the master of psychology, Blackquill? That's right, I don't know who I am. I'm always living as someone else for my dot assignments. Yes, yes. I don't remember what my Skibbity face looks like. Or even what my personality was like. My face, memories, personality, beliefs, emotions, and soul. I left them all behind. I have no self. I am no one. I am nothing but an endless abyss. What's with this guy? Is he even still human? And now, we resume with your lesson, Professor Wright. Oh, wait, what? I believe you made this argument earlier. If you were to analyze the blood on the moon rock, you could prove that I am the Phantom. I believe there was blood on the moon rock in that capsule. Now that we know you aren't even Bobby Fulbright, your claims of a Phantom trap won't work anymore. Then why don't you bring this moon rock in? Dop dop. This decisive evidence, yes, from the Hope capsule. Scary. I think I'll do just that. Get ready, because the Hope capsule is about to seal your... fudge. It was the courtroom bombing from the other day. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens. It looks like you have finally caught on. Full marks for the defense for effort. But what a shame your hope was lost in that courtroom explosion. So that's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It was all for the Phantom to destroy that one piece of evidence. I can't believe it. Have we really reached a dead end after coming all this way? Has the only evidence we have in this guy really been destroyed? How dare you continue to call me the Phantom? As I've said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent.
Objection!
And the defense will continue to assert that you are the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof. Or at least a prayer. I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. At least put some weight behind your swing, right, Dono? I know, I'm trying. There's only one thing that can unmask this menace, the moon rock. But that was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. I see where we're going with this. Get this case... No, you get your hands off of my boy. I'm the one holding him. Do you see? Me. Mine. And yet... Is it really gone without a trace? What if some tiny part, some little fragment still exists? 50-50? No. Yes, as you can see, the stolen moon rock there too. That strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture. Very well, Mr. Wright. Let's see your proof. What evidence will finally prove the Phantom's identity? You say we can't use the moon rock just yet? We can't use the earring just yet, you say? 75... No sharing. I have 100% custody. Hey, Criminal, how you doing? Welcome. Maybe the bomb? We don't have a... Oh, hang on. It was found in boarding lounge 1 and destinated in courtroom number 4. Hades, you fucking genius. Look.
Take that!
Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom? And the moon rock along with it? Are you saying this will reveal the Phantom's identity? Yes, Your Honor. Focus your attention on this photo taken after the bombing, specifically right here.
Take that!
Please take a look at this newspaper article. This article about the hat won. I'm being a beach by acting so shellfish. Now give you the fish and just wave him goodbye. Oh no, he's mine. He's my fish. He's my little fishy. Now, please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. That's the moon rock. And when we look at this photo of the bomb fragments, see how there's a rock-like object with the same coloration? Oh my! Yes, I see it. It would seem that the moon rock was much more durable than the Phantom thought. If we take a look at all the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with blood. And DNA testing on that blood will prove that the witness is indeed the Phantom. Unbelievable! But that's impossible. You gonna go sleep now? Oh, rest well then. Rest well. Gotta be up at 4:30. Damn, that almost sounds like a lion. A surprise to be sure, that's one bloody tough rock. Let us have the fragments tested straight away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, Fulbright. Bailiff, contact the police department immediately and order the testing. Tonic Foo? Prosecutor Blackquill, what did the test results show? There was a rock fragment that had blood in it that appeared to be several years old. DNA testing revealed. Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed. They confirmed it was the witness's blood, didn't they? M-Gods. What are the M-Gods going to do to me? There's no use in trying to walk you out of it anymore. Admit it, you are the fancy.
Objection!
Was that Apollo? Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself? No, I didn't say... No, surely not. That was my objection, Apollo. Huh? Why? It was a pretty good objection, too, don't you think? Now he's me? So, did you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, no, not really, Your Honor. No, not you, Mr. Wright. I mean the witness, Mr. Wright. Could this trial get any more insane? Mr. Wright, this fragment of rock in the photograph and those just like it. How can you be sure they're pieces of the same moon rock that was at the robotics lab? Care to explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had my blood on it. But how do you know they're not just rocks? You can't prove that they're the moon rock, right?
Objection!
Don't be absurd. Just compare the fragments with the rock in the newspaper article. Anybody can see they're the same. They have the exact same coloration.
Objection!
But maybe some other rock with the same coloration happened to be in the courtroom. It's highly unlikely a rock with such a unique appearance just happened to be here. But you can't deny it's a possibility.
Objection!
But your blood was found on one of the fragments. Apollo, there's nothing suspicious about my blood being on a piece of rock. And why not? I know it sounds like an excuse, but... Well, several years ago I tripped and fell in this very courtroom and I was hurt pretty badly. Maybe that's how my blood found its way into a piece of rubble. Even he must realise how ridiculous that sounds. And yet, I suppose it's not completely out of the question. I see you're starting to sweat, Mr. Wright. I thought that the worst of times when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from. Well, why don't we get those fragments analysed? We could ask an expert to verify if they're from the moon rock in the robotics lab or not. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that just isn't going to be possible. And why not? In order to prove that the fragments are from what you say they are from, you'd need a sample of the moon rock from 7 years ago to compare it with. Oh, I see. Right, I understand. If you tripped and fell on the ground and bled years ago, the floor cleaner would have gotten rid of it? Yeah, true. But that moon rock doesn't exist anymore. And there's no sample data left either. So you see, short of going back in time, there's no way to prove that any of the fragments are from that moon rock. Oh, no! There's really no way to prove it? Are you finally ready to throw in the towel?
Objection!
So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh? That's right. It was such a valuable rock too. A shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. He's wrong. It's not completely lost. There's another piece of it, right here by our side. A shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around. The final piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The defense has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. Are you ready to dino dance, chat? Let's get it typed in the chat. Because it's about to happen, isn't it? You have what now? A final fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care. Oh, that's not Dino Dance. It's a good piece of music, it's just not the, Hold on, wait. We do. We do. Even if the person holding it hasn't realised it yet. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Pay no attention to him, Your Honour. He's just bluffing as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. The piece of evidence that shows the original moonrock isn't completely lost is this. But just about the only things my mother left me with a widget and this earring. Maybe she did love me, in her own way. Athena, you may not know it, but your mother left you with a very important piece of evidence. She did? You're bluffing. You don't have anything of the kind. He'll scythe them like wheat. Yes. Oh, we do. Evidence that will finally corner you. Because we have a moonrock of our own. Yeah. Oh! You mean... Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left her daughter. An item Athena has cherished and worn all these years. Haven't played this. This is my first playthrough of the game. Wait, did I change my tags? Yeah, I did. Okay. As distant as Dr. Sykes may have seemed from to her daughter, that fragment of her love. Yeah, I've never played the Ace Attorney games before I started with like the first trilogy back in October. We'll shake off the darks of the past and give us all hope for the future. This is the defense's sample of the moonrock.
Take that!
That's your sample. This earring that Miss Sykes always wears was made from that original moonrock. Here it is, chat. Get ready. I knew it was coming. What? All this time. It was right here all along. No. It can't be. If the composition of the bomb fragments and the earrings are found to be a match, then it will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt the origin of the fragment in this photo. And since the test results showed that the blood on the fragment was yours, this means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. The identity I tried to hide? I don't have an identity to hide. I meant to have Athena's ears, but now even I can hear the fear in your voice. Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all my emotions behind years ago.
Objection!
Every human being feels fear. You simply can't face the emotions inside you. You can't face them because you have nothing. No love, no trust. And I suppose you do? I didn't have anybody to support me at first either. I couldn't face the fear inside me, couldn't get over the trauma of my past. Like I said, I don't feel fear.
Objection!
Then you're just a coward for running away from yourself. When I had my doubts about Miss Sykes, I felt like I'd collapse under the weight. But I wanted to trust her. And I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. That's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. Running away from myself? How can I run from myself? When there's nothing inside. Nothing at all.
Objection!
I know it's hard for someone who's unwilling to trust others as you to understand. But people have emotions. It's just a fact of life. And so people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another. So they can gain the strength to face themselves when things are at their bleakest. Without trust in others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? Oh, I think he's cracking. The fear inside of me? Is this? No. Ah! Ah! Trust is a recurring motive for this game? Yeah. Oh, he's bricking it. I'm afraid, I'm scared. Ah! I feel fear. You can't outrun yourself. Remove that mask and unleash your emotions. Confront your guilt head on. With your own true face. Damn, triple pointed. This boy got fingered. This boy got fingered as fuck. My own true face? No, please don't. I know you're here. Where are you? See? I haven't revealed anything yet. Honest. My true face! I don't have one! My face! What? Is this my face? Is it? Is it? No, that's not it. No! No! This isn't me either. Ah! Is this me? Which one is my face? What am I? Who am I? Bro got shot. Damn. My avatar's expressive. Thank you. Thank you. A sniper attack in this very courtroom. It chills me to my bones. But the police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Prosecutor Blackquill, how is Detective Fulbright? I mean, his imposter doing? No worries, Hades. Thanks for the hangs. I'll see you soon. You take care and have a good one, yeah? He's a lucky fellow. The bullet didn't hit any vital organs. He appears to be in no danger of dying. Well, that was fortunate for all of us. The analysis of that final piece of evidence right donor submitted is in. The composition of Miss Sykes' earring and the fragment of the blood didn't match. We can now be certain that it is a fragment from the moon rock in question. The murders and bombings at the space centres, both past and present. The bombing of courtroom number 4, and all of his other crimes as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all of these things, the spy known as the Phantom has been incarcerated. The prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There are still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about, after all. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackquill. Well, it's time to finally bring this trial to an end. But before I do, will the defendant please return to her proper place? Yes, Your Honour. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Athena Sykes. Have you just noticed that it's sunrise in the background? The sun's coming up. Yay! He's actually happy. Court is adjourned. Who shot him? Probably someone from the spy organisation by the sound of that. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Thank you, Pearls. And thank you for being there for Athena. Well, that's the least I could do. But Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong throughout the whole trial. Oh, Daddy, I'm so glad to see you. Oh, Drusy, you alright? Are you hurt? I'm fine, Daddy. I was doing magic tricks for the other ostriches to keep our spirits up. That's our Drusy for you. I'm really glad to see you safe. Right. I fear I owe you yet another debt of gratitude. Edgeworth. We never would have caught him if it weren't for all of you. Oh, come on, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? You're the ones who've been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you're the one who gave Blackquill permission to serve as prosecutor, right? Yes, well, we knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. The police and I were trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial. Well, we never would have won this trial without you. It was your help as chief prosecutor that was the key to its successful conclusion. Besides, it was you that saw to it that I got my attorney's badge back, wasn't it? So you figured it out, did you? Yeah, getting my license back went just a little too smoothly, you know. It should have been much harder after that evidence forging scandal. Well, I owed you a few favours. Hey, Edgeworth, think we can finally bring the Dark Age of the Law to an end? Even the darkest night turns to dawn eventually. Our sun will rise again. Besides, now that Prosecutor Blackquill has been cleared of all charges, a great deal of the mistrust towards the court system should have been swept away. You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. It won't kill you. Instead, the furrows in that brow of yours just keep getting deeper and deeper. So I should smile more, huh? I'll think about it. Oh, the complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals. Oh, who's this? Is it Blackquill? It is. I'm forever in your debt. You went to all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you were overseas. Well, I knew that if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. So I studied and studied. I was frantic. I'm so glad I made it in time. Sure, okay. Oh, just barely, but I still made it. That a girl, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out. Give her a hug, man. Just give her a fucking hug. Yes, I survived by the skin of my teeth thanks to you. Shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that. It was never my intention to just throw my life away. But some things in this world are more important than your own life. Like what? My honour-bound duty to protect with my life. My mentor's most beloved treasure. Huh? That's some loyalty. This guy really is a samurai through and through. Well, looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, thank you both. It took all of us together to pull it off. You bet, boss. What a team we are, huh? It was definitely the most amazing turnabout I've ever seen. I'm a lucky guy. My office has the best, most capable lawyers around. Final verdict? Fulbright was the Phantom. He got shot. My office has the best, most capable lawyers around. Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'm going to work extra hard to make up for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice is fine and ready to go. Let's hear it for the Right Anything Agency. Well, no one's going to try harder than me, so you better watch out, Apollo. Simon's free thanks to Mr. Wright. But there are so many more people out there who need our help. You're right. And I'll be needing you both to help them. Oh, how would I rate this case? Really good. Like, honestly, this is going to cause me some problems when I come to my tier list eventually. This is going to cause me some real difficulties because, like, this is up there. This is right up there. This could challenge 1.5. I need to have a very long, hard think about that. The overall verdict is like, yeah, chef kiss. Very, very, very good case. This entire game has been meant. Like, DD is fantastic. Like, really, it's probably the top overall game so far. What was it Athena just said? I missed that. Hold on. Hold on. We still have a long way to go. Get ready, you two. We want a major victory, but the war is far from over. There are still people out there suffering under false charges who need defending. People on average don't like DD as I do. I mean, I have very odd Ace Attorney takes. I thought that 2-3 was better than 2-4, for instance. I thought 3-2 was awful. I tend to enjoy cases that are not popular, and I dislike cases that are popular. And it's not through any prior knowledge, it's just because I find the unpopular cases genuinely just to be more fun. We got a lot of work ahead of us. If we ever hope to fully bring the Dark Age of the Law to a close. Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate with a bowl of piping hot noodles. Huh? We're going to Eldoon's. Nothing like a bowl of Eldoon's noodles after a trial, all on Mr. Wright's tab. That's how it works at the Right Anything Agency, right, Mr. Wright? Huh? Huh? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude to your people for their great work. In that case, allow me to join in the festivities. I would greatly welcome a bowl of noodles. What? I've got an idea, Daddy. Why don't you just invite everybody involved with the case? The more the merrier, right? You found out you're not really an Ace Attorney fan. You can definitely and easily see where people like them. Yeah. The thing is, right, for me, the reason people wanted me to play these games is like, hey, you are a lawyer. Play the lawyer game. It will be funny. And it's like, actually, I've gotten kind of invested in it on an emotional level. I've gotten invested in it. Oh, boy. Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you've come. Who knew you grew up to be such a generous gentleman? Guys, under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say. Only if I get to join in. Hey, no fair. I want to say it too. Alright, here we go.
Objection!
Brilliant. Right, let's watch the credits, then we'll wrap up, huh? I was trying to think of something nice I could do for Polly now he's back. So I decided to go around and get a bunch of jobs for him to do. Find a lost cat, install an aircon, get a computer lesson, find a lost item. I think I should have found him a few legal cases. Ah, it's okay. This is alright, anything interesting after all. I dropped this. Oh, thank you. I will wear this crown. Athena and Apollo were so wonderful in court. I better study as much as I can if I want to be a judge someday. My grandma says eat lots of peppers and they'll ignite your passion. Oh, but I should figure out which to grow, green or yellow. Or maybe I should go with hot as the sun red peppers instead. The end of the Dark Age of the Law, you say? How naive. Don't you know it's sometimes necessary to get a guilty verdict by any means possible? What? They're putting me under investigation? The chief prosecutor wants to see me? Ah! Get fucked, Payne. Dickhead.
I've been asked to debut the Greed Bass for rest of Temataro.
He's scheduled to go up against the Amazing Ninetales next, though.
Oh, what to do, a fight to the finish with myself?
Why did you ask Mr. Demon Lawyer to be the Amazing Ninetales too?
That's not a bad idea. I bet he'd be all for it. Ka. So are we to meet as foes, are we, my little friend?
I forgot what Jinxie's voice was. Okay. Would you believe it? I'm Alderman of Ninetales Vale now. Pretty impressive, huh? I took over after rescue for the good of my beloved village. What do you say? Would you like to make a little donation to help us out? Hey! Hey you, what do you think you're doing sneaking in the matter? Ah, the jig's up. Better make a run for it. That cheeky little bastard. I thought I wanted to be an artist, but after seeing the amazing job Athena did, I started becoming genuinely interested in the law, so now I'm studying for the bar exam. Oh, I'm going to prosecute Athena someday. U-S-E-E. I'm studying my buns off too, but not for the bar exam. I'm going to pass the Themis entrance exam on my own merits this time. With a score of 100 points, of course. Hugh, Juniper, our dream will live on forever!
I found really sweet boxes for all three of them, but they won't wear them. Is it because I want to be a legal journalist instead of a lawyer or a judge? But anyway, thanks to the trial, the school newspaper's future is as bright as it can be. Now let's see what the fresh blood have to say in the new school paper. I already cried so hard at graduation rehearsal, a cardboard box got soggy.
Crime cleaner. For cleaning crimes. The one night only reunion concert, I still remember that evening of passion. The president of the student council sang like no high school student I've ever heard. When she's a judge in her own court someday, I'd love to have a jam session with her. It'd be the coolest trial ever, yeah. I can already hear it now. Interesting. Interesting. I gave this place a good clean from top to bottom, but it's already a mess again. Well, I guess the only thing we can do now is clean up the attitudes of the people in this office. Oh god, they fucked it. With Mystic Margie's coming once the training's over, it simply must be done. Run, run, run. Her slap can kill an elephant. Pearl is a god. She is literally the god of the Ace Attorney universe. If she smites you, you're dead. You die. Hailing frequencies open. Humanity's dream for outer space will never die. In fact, planning for the HAD-3 rocket has officially begun. Look upon me, people of this great nation, and witness the glory of Yuri Cosmos. What do you... Oh, Director. Yes, yes. Rocket preparations are fully complete. Yes. You'll just leave everything to me. Assistant Director Yuri Cosmos. Who's the director then? Please tell me I'm continuing. No, I'm not going to continue on to the next case. I've been going for 3 hours and my voice is starting to hurt, so I need to rest up a bit. I'm sorry, G-Man. I'm going to the moon in the new rocket. If Athena or Mummy Metis came to the moon, I'd love to show them around. But which is more interesting, Montes Pyrenees or the Mare Tranquillitatis? You think they'd like either one? Yay! Hooray! I wonder how Miss Aura is doing. I'd rather be near Miss Aura than on the moon. Oh, Miss Aura, I just want you to use me again like you used to. Oh my god, the robot's a masochist. Yeah, it's a good place to stop. We can split into the DLC case next time. Ready for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off. I'm going to the moon for real this time, for me and for Claire. Thanks to my lawyers, I now know I should never give up. But I'm worried. You can't breathe in space, and in fact it's cold as heck. Oh man, now I'm getting really nervous. Was that a death bot in the background? Yes, it was. No, I'm not employed here. I simply came to request their services in defense of my sister. But no one's around, and I've been kept waiting for a long time. And what sort of case brings you here? Oh, your father was accused and you wish for Athena to defend him. Then perhaps he and I shall meet in a courtroom in the near future. Does anything that Blackquill say come across as, like, not a threat? Damn. I look forward to your next month's salary assessment next. Ah, please forgive me. Blackwell's acquittals brought all manner of ills in the prosecutor's office to light. It would seem solving that case has thawed the chill of winter into the warmth of spring. Now I owe Wright yet another debt of gratitude. But I will repay him one day. You can trust in that. Oh, he's going to boy kiss. The Mitsuhodo is real. The Mitsuhodo is real. Or is it Naramitsu? Naruhodo? Naramitsu tops? You know what? They all work, right? Mitsuhodo, Edgewright, Naramitsu, you know. We know what we mean by them. They're all accurate. Jeez, yeah. Woo! And now the credits roll. Let's see if there's anything at the end of the credits, and then we'll wrap up. We'll wrap things up there, yeah? Do-do. Do-do. Do. The music in this game actually is really contributory to one of the, like, things I really liked about it. Good game music is such an enhancement for me, and the music in this game especially was so far beyond what any of the other games have given me so far that, like, it made it so enjoyable. I mean, it didn't make it enjoyable by itself. It was, like, really contributory to why I enjoyed it. You motherfucker. This motherfucker. We're gonna have to get him. Do 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 do. Skibbity stottle. Just grooving at this point. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that was a loud one. Nice. Oh, we got a cutscene. Oh, is this Hat 3?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Here it goes.
4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Damn. Eight ads on the bounce. Jesus. Yeah, I've never seen that many in one go. Holy damn. Whew.
Mr. Starbuck! You'll be fine. Just believe in yourself.
The moon's closer than you think!
You can see it. There he goes.
Thanks, guys. I wouldn't have made it back into space if it wasn't for you.
So who took over as the director?
All right!
He's just looking at the young people like, ah, you weird little kids. You weird little children. What other cutscenes did you miss? They launched the Hat 1 rocket, and everyone got a happy ending. Through the years, I've seen as much joy as heartache, honesty as deceit. But just as Mr. Starbuck was able to escape the harsh pull of his fears and despair, I believe that hope and friendship can lift us all up towards a brighter tomorrow. There we go. That was such a good case. Right, okay. Wait, that wasn't case 5-4, that was case 5-5. Ah, fucking hell. Hang on, continue on to Spirit of Justice. Hold on. Oh, I see the SP. Right, okay, I understand. Right, okay. Let's pull over here then. Why did I say 5-4? Why did I say 5-4 on the tweet? Oh, I'm so stupid. I think it's because I considered, like, I considered 5-3 and... so I considered 5-4 and 5-5 like the same case because they run into each other so much. Anyway, we're going to wrap up that chat. We've got a few people here, so let's see if there's anyone that we could raid out to. Should we raid... like... Maybe not. There's not really anyone on right now, so... Yeah, we'll just wrap up for tonight. So, I'm going to go rest up. I'm going to go see my wife because I haven't seen her tonight. She's been home for a couple hours. I need to go and, like, say hi, at least. I'm back on Sunday with the Slug Streamers collab on... it's like Slug Trivia. So we're going to be doing that from 6 PM UK time, normal time. My schedule for the next couple of weeks after that is going to start getting a little bit weird, so bear with me on it. I will see you guys very soon, though. Thank you so much for the hangs. Take loads of care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And, yeah, I will see you next time. But until then, have a good one.